best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to AtcoPestControl.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
He's the best interview in the Bay Area.
He looked like Steph Curry always has, so he still got it. I mean, I think the biggest thing when you're 37 is maintaining the level over the course of 82 games.
And he joins Willard and Dibbs every week during the NBA season.
We have a blueprint that everybody's feeling confident with.
Steve Kerr is presented by Great Clips. In sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
This is it, your last call clearance event at Lazy Boy. Save up to 50% off store-wide on sofas, sectionals, recliners, and more. Don't miss unbeatable savings on an American icon. The last call clearance event happening now at your local Bay Area Lazy Boy.
Join Spadoni, Shasky, Steiny, Guru, Willard, and Dibbs for the Blue and Gold Summit live at Jackson Pleasant Hill Thursday, November 6th from 2 to 6 p.m. Come talk hoops, hang out, and enjoy happy hour specials from 2 to 6. Only at Jackson Pleasant Hill, November 6th. Don't miss it.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Butcher Boy here from my friends at Serramonte Ford, where they're bringing serious heat this month with deals that'll blow your mind. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mustang Mach-E Premium with extended range for just $299 a month. Yes, you heard me. An all-electric Mustang with power, style, and range for under $300 a month. That's not a typo. That's a steal. And if you're not feeling electric just yet, well, then no worries. Sarah Money Ford's got hundreds of new and pre-owned Fords in stock and ready to roll home today. From F-150s and Broncos to Escapes and Explorers, they've got every model you could want, and the team makes it easy. No games, no nonsense, just good people who know how to take care of the Bay Area drivers, just like they did for me. You'll find them right off at 280 on Ceremony Boulevard, or check out the full lineup 24/7 at CeremonyFord.com. Ceremony Ford, your Bay Area Ford store.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios.
It's time for the Kickoff Show.
What a win for the 49ers!
It's Sunday, and we're locked in on the red and gold.
What a run by George Kittle!
All right, what is going on? Good morning, 49ers fans. This is the Kickoff Show. Evan Giddings, Lorenzo Neal getting us set for Week 8 at D'Amico Ryans and the Houston Texans. And Lo, we'll talk about Mac Jones getting his 4th consecutive start. We'll talk about George Kittle coming back and how they can help sort of deviate, dominate potentially this Houston defense. But before we get into that, good morning. I feel like this is the first 10 a.m. game we've done this year.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, how early is it? Still kind of dark outside.
It's a little dreary in the
sun's
city.
not up, a little dreary in the city. But you know what? It's bang, bang, Niner game. It's the time today, the Niners to keep this thing rolling. Big, huge win. I mean, good morning to you two. Good morning to all the billions that are listening across the world, listening to 95.7 The Game. They know they're in for a hot show with you and IE.
Yeah, I mean, then literally this is the second 10 a.m. game they've done. They won in New Orleans week 2, but it's been about a month and a half. And we got to start with the game on Sunday night. You and I were at Laughing Monk, had a great time with the people down there, and everybody, just a heads up, it is still the best place to watch football right before you get to Levi's Stadium. Get a bus, get a shuttle, free to and from. Just go to 957thegame.com. Kickoff Show, Eventbrite link. You know the drill. But that was a game on Sunday night where I don't know how many people nationally, Low, have been paying attention to the 49ers just because they've been so banged up. I think when people watch this team or talking about this team, there's a lot of names that arise that they're just unfamiliar with. And so for the country to see on Sunday Night Football, the Niners go in, beat an Atlanta team coming off that big win against Buffalo, a squad that's got playoff aspirations. I think everyone was maybe not head over heels about the Niners, but how could you not be head over heels about Christian McCaffrey and what he did? That guy put the team on his back in that 20-10 victory.
He really did. And I remember going into the game, we talked about Bijan, who's had a hell of a year, and like, what's going to happen? And I just could feel it. I mean, you're like, Lo, what did you feel? I mean, I had a prophecy come down from heaven and tell me, but I just knew that this was going to be like a Christian McCaffrey game. Here's a guy that he's consistent, he's persistent, and he does the small things right. And when you're that athletic and you're that good, something's got to give. And you watch the way that he's been catching the ball in the backfield, the things that he's done leading up to this game, the way that he hits the hole, the patience that he's shown, and, you knew he was due. And when the elements, everything lined up, you had a guy from Atlanta that everyone's saying, hey, maybe offensive MVP and the things that he's doing. You just, as an athlete and as a competitor, you're Christian McCaffrey, you 2 years, 3 years removed from offensive play. You're like, wait a minute. I'm still here. People maybe forgot. I'm still that guy. And he did not disappoint. And it was great to see him go head-to-head with another great running back and to outrush him, to outcatch him in the ball, catch the ball, do the things that he did. That was absolutely amazing, that Christian McCaffrey's performance, the way that he went about his business.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, 129 games, and you called it last week. The first game that he had 100 yards, the first game that the Niners had a 100-yard rusher this season, the first game they had multiple rushing touchdowns in a game. And, also 7 catches for 72 yards, including that long 17-yard catch on a 3rd and 14, which preceded that second touchdown, which essentially sealed the game in the fourth quarter and earned the Niners a double-digit victory. Part of it, too, is Christian McCaffrey. Mac Jones, I thought, was fine in that game. The final stat line is not sexy, but that was a game where Kyle Shanahan talked about it after low. 40 runs was the goal. Now, they came up one short, but they definitely decided that that was a football game where they were going to get back to basics. And I got to say, I'm not sure if Christian McCaffrey can maintain that sort of effort. I'm not sure if the Niners would even be wise to be a team that is giving him 30-plus touches each and every week. But that's the kind of throwback game that makes me feel like, Low, if this Niners team can navigate the regular season, if they can find a way to challenge, which they are currently for the NFC West, if they might be able to sneak into the wild card route, which I believe they have an inroad to, because the rest of the way, I mean, you basically got to go 5-7 to get to 10 wins, which I think gets you in. That's the kind of performance from McCaffrey that makes me feel like the Niners could win a playoff game, because whether it's Mac Jones, whether it's Brock Purdy, if this guy is playing at 100%, you got to give him a chance, just because he does that to any sort of defense.
No question. He really does. And this is today and moving forward, it's about the other guys. I mean, last week we talked about Fred Warner and Nicky Bosa both being out, and you talked about who's up next. Who's these guys? Bunch of no-name, selfish guys. Mufasa come back, and, you're thinking, okay, who is going to be the person that's going to jump? Who is going to pop defensively? And you saw the way that Robert Saleh had that defense play. Not a lot of MEs, not a lot of, mental mistakes. They went out there and they played sound football. Now I want to see Grigno. So I want to see the running backs. I want to see Robinson. I want to see, I want to see 31. I want to see these other guys that no one really talks about. They have to emerge. They have to play better for McCaffrey to continue to play great. That's what this is about. It's about the other guys. How are the running back room, the other guys that have to take the ball when McCaffrey comes out for a spell, how successful and how impactful can they be? Because we need them to be impactful. We need them to be successful in order for McCaffrey to stay at the level that he is at.
Yeah, and he's going to have to do it against a Houston Texans defense that might be top 2, top 3 in this league. They are a very good group, obviously, led by D'Amico Ryans. We'll have a full breakdown for you as we roll on here on the Kickoff Show, taking you up until 10 a.m. An early kick today. Grab a cup of coffee, get your breakfast, pull up with Giddings and Lorenzo Neal, and have a good time getting set for the Niners here in Week 8. The thing about last week, too, Lo, is I thought it was impressive how much they were able to frustrate. And they'll have a similar challenge today. I think a little more talent at the position, but frustrate a young quarterback like Michael Penix. So we talked about it pregame how this is a guy who's been a bit inconsistent at the start of his career, is now turning over the reins because he's injured to Kirk Cousins, who's gonna get the start this week for Atlanta. But I thought that they made Penix just question where he needed to go with the ball. They took away first options. There was a lot of passes last week that ended up out of bounds, and generally that's a sign of a quarterback who's getting rid of it a lot, who just doesn't know where to go with the ball. And so without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner in that first game, I was immensely impressed with what Robert Saleh was able to do, because we're always asking when the shoe's going to drop.
Yeah.
And so far in that defense, it hasn't dropped yet.
No, it really haven't. And we talked about it last week. We said, hey, look, what is his equation? When you went to school and we took, geometry, we knew pi is 3.14. We knew what the circumference and the radii and the radius, the distance around it. So Fred was one of those things. He's a guy you can plug. He's pi, or he's the radii, or the radius, whatever you want to say. But he is the stability and the comfort of the defense, and Robert Saleh know he has a coach on the field. So when you take him out, erase him, and you say, what is this defense going to look like? McVay, what are the rest of these guys going to do and bring to the table? Hell, 10 points. That's freaking unbelievable because we thought, hey, look, you allowed, there's now, teams are going to get to 20 easier, 21 or 20, 24. But the way these guys played, they played like their head was on fire. They played on another side of the ball. They pressured the quarterback. They gave, Penix different looks and dropping in the zone, making him, hold the ball, pause for just a second, look somewhere else, throw the ball away. He played so bad that he has to go to the bench. I know he may be injured a little bit. That look, we got to breathe. Let's bring in Kirk Cousins. See if Kirk Cousins, an older quarterback, a veteran type of quarterback who, that's played great in this league, that's, saw his better days. But here's a guy that's probably going to come in there and try to ride the ship because Atlanta believes they're a playoff team. The Niners, in the beginning of the season, no one really thought this was a playoff team. No one gave this team really a fighting chance. Having Ayuk down, different guys have left the building. Debo's gone. All the things that surrounded this team, it was like, no way. Fast forward after week 3, 4, man, now Nicky Bosa, one of the best pass rushers, leave your team and done for the year. No one gave this team, no one's giving this San Francisco 49 a real fighting chance. It's like, okay, when are the wheels going to fall off? When the dust settles, when is this team going to have this? People are just like waiting for the Niners saying, okay, is this fool's gold? Am I buying or am I selling? And a lot of people just wanting to say, oh, I knew this was going to happen. Oh, I'm selling. Mac Jones is going to fall apart. Mac Jones can't do this. Oh, they don't have the receivers. They don't have the talent. They're depending too much on, McCaffrey. They want to hit sell. So many writers and people, they have their finger on the button and they just haven't pushed it yet to say sell because the Niners are still fighting, like you said, and they're in this thing. And people now, last Sunday night, they got to take a look at this team, a team that, beat against Atlanta Falcons, who beat Buffalo, went to Buffalo, found a way to beat Josh Allen. By the way, a lot of people believe that's the number one team in the AFC. You beat a pretty good Atlanta team. This Niner team, no one's nationally, they're not the national darlings, but this team is finding a way to stay relevant.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because I feel like when this team the last few years has been at its best, they have been the darlings. Like in 2025, they were the darlings of this league.
Exactly.
In 2022, even when Purdy took over, if Philly was a gritty group and they got to the Super Bowl, the Chiefs have always been there, but the Niners have been, and Fred Warner used this term a couple of years ago, which kind of shocked me at the time, but does, I think, represent how much of a leader and a realist that he is. He said, we're front runners. People look at us like front runners. If we do not play on schedule, if the script doesn't go our way, we're not a team that has shown that against the best that we can win those kinds of gritty games. I think that's what's been refreshing about this season, Lo, is they're not the darlings anymore, and they're proving that the way that this coaching staff and sort of the identity of this franchise, the way they want to be, I think the way that Shanahan wants to be, the way that Saleh wants to be, is the way that this team is playing. A group that will hit you in the mouth, a group that it's not going to look pretty, a group that can confuse you, a group that is going to make enough winning plays, and oh, by the way, a team that still has not found yet a way to turn over a quarterback. Chase Lucas nearly had an interception last week, but he dropped it. So they've done all of this without playing potentially at their best or putting together that full game, and they're just finding ways to get it done.
It's absolutely crazy and absurd when you think about Malik Mufasa, came off a knee injury last year, got to burn last year. This past game, look at Brown. You think about these guys that are out there, and it's like Lunar. You're like, who are these guys?
Tatum Bethune, his steps in for Fred Warner, has 10 tackles.
Yeah, I mean, Bethune came in and played well. He played downhill. That Mike linebacker, he did a great job. When you just think about these guys, winners, and all these guys that stepped up, Elliott, Givens, these guys, it's a bunch of no-name guys that people are like, okay, who are these guys? Not this bona fide starters. And do you think anybody's name that we read is a Pro Bowler? Do you think these guys are going to be? So it's like you are making a name for yourself defensively. And like you said, people just stepped up. Guys are just continuing to step up and play big. And it's just, to me, I sit back sometimes and I watch this Niner team and like, how is this happening? How is this happening with the injuries, the injury bug, backup quarterbacks, and Mac Jones, and what this guy continues to do, Evan, is pretty unbelievable. The way that he goes about his business, how quick he gets the ball out of his hands, the way that he dissects defense. I really believe he is so prepared. He has put himself in a great position. He is one of the better backups in this league. And by the way, I got the Raiders on the phone. You think about right now, if you look around the league and think where Mac Jones could help some teams at the quarterback position, it's pretty interesting just to look that this guy goes from an afterthought now to where you don't have a healthy, 100% healthy Purdy, but you have a halfway healthy Purdy, probably 75, maybe 80%, that your organization and your guys says, you can rest, sit down, stay here, we're going to stay with Mac Jones. Think about what that says about this young man, because Purdy's still practicing, he's limited, he can do some things, but think about what Kyle Shanahan and this team and these players, who they believe in. And if you just press eject, I tell you the story all the time. I was in San Diego, and we had friggin' Phillip Rivers, Hall of Fame type of quarterback, and we had Billy Volek. Phillip messes up his knee. Billy Volek goes out and wins that first playoff game, and they just said, hey, it's Phillip's job. And Phillip couldn't move. He was statuesque, and probably would have been it better would have served the team to stay with Billy Volek. So I hope the Niners understand it didn't mean that Billy Volek was better than Phillip Rivers. It didn't mean that Billy Volek was going to take his job the following year. But it did mean you should have stayed with Billy Volek throughout the playoffs and let this guy, because right after the season, Phillip had to get his meniscus and MCL taken out. So you just said, I'm going to put a guy that can't really move, but I owe it to him to play him. And sometimes coaches do that because of guilt, because of commitment, because of God, I feel committed to a person. This is the National Football League. You can still be committed to that person further down the road the following year. Stay committed. But it would be horrible for this team to jerk Mac Jones out of the starting lineup and say, here, Brock, it's time to go get this ship. Because the timing, there's other things. It's off. And right now, this team is functioning at a high level behind Mac Jones. And they're winning behind him. And they're following this guy. Why disrupt it? Why disrupt it because a contract says I should disrupt it? Why disrupt it because I'm paid this guy millions of dollars? That's why. Why disrupt it because I got to do this because this is what you're supposed to do because he's supposed to be our future quarterback of the future. Why? That's why I'm disrupting it? Don't do it, Shanny. Don't disrupt success. Not that you're not loyal to Brock. Not that he's not going to be the future. Not that this guy, it's not that it's as if he's done. No. But don't mess up what you have the way these guys are playing for your backup quarterback.
And I think that it's a game like today that makes you feel like, all right, if we win this game against a good Houston defense, 10 a.m. start on the road, you just keep it rolling. I mean, I don't think it's a situation you have to overthink at this point.
Don't, exactly.
The starting quarterback is Mac Jones. And when Brock Purdy is ready to go, and if Mac Jones isn't playing like this anymore, then you go back to him.
Yes.
I mean, look, you're 5-2, he's 4-1, and this team is winning football games. I'm kind of with you. Like, in a way, I think that how I've looked at this season is, and I'm not sure who the 49ers are, but I know that they're going to find a way to win.
Right.
And Mac Jones is part of that equation. You know, I thought it was interesting that listening to a lot of the players last weekend at the podium, they asked George Kittle, his first game back, and we can get into him in a moment too, because his impact was felt.
Beast.
But George Kittle was asked, why is this team so resilient? You know, from your perspective, you've been in, you've been out, you've had a chance to view this from the sideline, you've been in the huddle now. What is the difference with this football team compared to last year where that grittiness or sort of, gutsiness you guys have displayed, it just wasn't there. The first person that he said, Mac Jones. And that was the very first thing out of his mouth. And again, it wasn't a shot.
Can we add that? We can hear it?
It wasn't a shot at Brock Purdy. I can go find it, but it wasn't a shot at Brock Purdy. It wasn't a degradation of his starting quarterback.
Right.
But Mac Jones represents the next man up mentality that not just he, but a lot of guys that have had to play with on this team. Defensive linemen have had to step up. Tatum Bethune stepped up. This week, without Bryce Huff, who's down for a couple weeks with a hamstring injury. Yetur Gross-Matos is also out for multiple weeks for the Niners. Guys are going to have to step up. And I think that watching, whether you're a starter, a backup, an all-pro, 53rd man on the roster, seeing the starting quarterback step into the limelight and not allow this team to fall off, that's got to make you feel like you can do your job at the highest level, too.
No question. And, we talked about Tatum Bethune that came in and took over for, of the great all-pro Fred Warner. That was the spotlight was on him. But because of what you said, when you said what Kittle said, hey, Mac Jones, that gives Tatum relief. That gives, because he can look at Mac and says, man, this guy walked in and he's at the most high pressure part on the team, playing quarterback, orchestrating the offense, getting guys lined up. This guy walks into the huddle. He's at practice, and look what he's done for this team. Now I'm Tatum Bethune, and I'm getting ready to play for arguably one of the greatest linebackers, for the Niners, and Fred Warner. I got to step in here, make these calls, get lined up, and do those things. Guess what? If Mac Jones can do it, I can do it. And you saw 10 tackles all over the field, dropping into space, knowing what he's doing. This is why, this is what Kittle's talking about, next man up mentality. Because they're seeing the trigger man. They're watching this quarterback do it. And other guys saying, dude, you don't think Coach K, look what Mac Jones is doing. Look how he prepared. Look at the things he's doing. All it takes is all you got. And look at these other backups. These guys are in a situation like you just alluded to that are backing up and they're stepping up because they have a guy and they're watching his, attention to details. They're watching the way Mac Jones prepares. They're watching the way he goes through practice. You don't think you watch guys when you're at practice and when you're there and you're backup, whatever you might be, and you go out to practice and you're number ones and you're going against Mac Jones and you're watching line up guys. You're watching him throw the ball. You're watching him take command of the huddle. You're watching him in team meetings, take notes. You're watching him get guys going to quarterback, asking these questions. You're in those locker rooms. You're seeing this happen. And coach saying, this is how you, as a backup, this is how you prepare. He's preparing like he's a starter. And look at now when the opportunity came, look how he just sees it. So when you have guys like that, look at the backup players, the way that they're playing for the San Francisco 49ers on defense. Guys are running, hitting, played one of their best defensive games of the year thus far, only allowing 10 points. Why? Because there is something permeating throughout that locker room, and it starts at the top, and it's a trickle down, and now you have it flowing through the backup guys. People gave them no chance except themselves.
And I'm glad you mentioned the top, too, because I think there's got to be something to, all right, well, Robert Saleh is putting us in a position to succeed on defense. Kyle Shanahan is putting all these backups in positions to succeed on offense. When you go out there and it works, I have to imagine that there's a trust that's built throughout each and every week, which is, all right, when we rep this in practice, when we install this game plan, it's going to work. And it's not just the fact that, all right, well, we're backups and we're going up against starters. I do think that going out and seeing the benefit of your work in real time, like you said, it's just it's snowballed. And I think that that's what's happened over the course of the season is they trust the position that their coaching staff has put them in, that it's going to work. I mean, I was listening to a conversation with Teron Armstead earlier this week. He was on ESPN Radio, and he used to play with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
And they were asking him, dude, what's going on with this team? Like, what is happening with Miami? They don't look like themselves. They're out of sorts. And he was saying the one thing that he's seen with that group that they didn't have when he was there, when they were succeeding, was trust. Was trust to play fast and play with violence because they're questioning every single place they're being on the field. There's no gap integrity because they're trying to make too many individual plays. They're not trusting the positions they're supposed to be in. And I'm listening to him, and I'm just thinking about the 49ers because it feels like every time there's a backup that steps in. Tatum Bethune is a perfect example of last week, plug and play. Is he as good as Fred Warner? Absolutely not. But he was able to succeed in his stead and is going to have another opportunity to do so today, I believe, because unlike the situation in Miami, there's trust that when Saleh puts him in a spot, he can just play free. He can play violently. He can play without thinking. And that's what I think right now, to your point, is permeating throughout that locker room.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Eves, because it's the belief system, it's the attention to details, and it's guided to buy-in. You got to have buy-in. And you look at these guys, you listen at the locker room. When Fred went down, hey, look, I can't replace Fred, or we can't replace him. It's going to take all of us. You listen at the mindset. Go watch that first week when Fred goes down. Listen at everyone, the message. Man, no one can do what Fred does. Oh, he's too big. No one can replace Fred. But what we all can do is come together, and everyone picks up the mantle. Look at Brock Purdy compared to Mac Jones. Brock Purdy can scramble, do other things that's more efficient. But look at how Mac Jones says, okay, I may not be this quarterback, I may not be Brock Purdy, but this is what I'm going to do. Joinings. Look, at 3, I'm getting rid of the ball. I know this heat's coming, and I trust you're going to do it. So I can't get out of the way. I can't extend the plays. So you have to win.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about. And this is that trickle down. And that's what's causing these receivers, tight ends, line, everyone saying, we have to do our job, because if we do, 10 is going to get it done. And this is the mindset that this team is getting. This is continuing to build. They got a big game today against a great defense, and they've been having big games against good teams, but they're finding a way because they're all committed. And like you said, attention to details, but the belief and trust in one another.
And as we roll on, we're going to get into the Houston Texans. We're going to get into their situation. We're going to get into their head coach, who Kyle Shanahan, by the way, has not coached against so far. They have not seen the Houston Texans since 2021. They play them today in just about an hour and a half, 10 a.m. kickoff. And, of course, we'll have your post-game coverage for you on Overtime with Mark Randy and Sterling Bennett right here on 95.7 The Game. But coming up next, I do want to go listen to that Kittle sound. I want to dig deeper into some of the belief you're talking about, Lo, and also want to expand the conversation to what the 49ers should be looking at right now in a week-to-week type of season that's got them at 5-2 off their big Sunday night victory for the Atlanta Falcons. All right, 888-957-9570 is also the number. Are you believing in the San Francisco 49ers team? Does a team like Houston scare you today with that defense? Do you have belief in Mac? What do you expect to see from Christian McCaffrey, who got 31 touches and had over 200 yards on Sunday Night Football? 888-957-9570 is the number. Also for the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. All right, if you want to get set for the next home game, if you want to come down to Laughing Monk, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to 957thegame.com. You're going to go to the Kickoff Show graphic. You're going to click on the Eventbrite link, and you're going to get yourself a spot on that shuttle to and from Laughing Monk to go to the next 49ers football game against the Los Angeles Rams a few Sundays from now on November 9th against, again, a big division rival. We'll be at Laughing Monk, 1 o'clock kickoff. Get there, 1:25 kickoff. Get there at 1 o'clock. Hang out for the show. Get there at 10 a.m., watch the early games. It's a great spot to hang out. And again, 957thegame.com to get your spot for a Laughing Monk Brewing kickoff show extraordinaire. Evan Giddings, Lorenzo New will be there. And, of course, we'll be back after this commercial break on 95.7 The Game.
Butcher Boy here from my friends at Ceremony Ford, where they're bringing serious heat this month with deals that'll blow your mind. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mustang Mach-E Premium with extended range for just $299 a month. Yes, you heard me, an all-electric Mustang with power, style, and range for under $300 a month. That's not a typo. That's a steal. And if you're not feeling electric just yet, well, then no worries. Ceremony Ford's got hundreds of new and pre-owned Fords in stock and ready to roll home today. From F-150s and Broncos to Escapes and Explorers, they've got every model you could want, and the team makes it easy. No games, no nonsense, just good people who know how to take care of the Bay Area drivers, just like they did for me. You'll find them right off at 280 on Ceremony Boulevard, or check out the full lineup 24/7 at ceremonyford.com. Ceremony Ford, your Bay Area Ford store.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Go to trylifemd.com now and see the best options with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more. Brian was approved for insurance coverage and lost 100 pounds.
I love the fact that insurance covered almost everything because pharmaceutical prices are going through the roof. The first time I realized that LifeMD was working for me was when the hunger started going away. I never thought losing weight would be this easy. It's given me more energy. I would recommend LifeMD to anybody.
Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at trylifemd.com. That's TRYLIFEMD.com.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
Hi, this is Brian Bakhtiar, Executive Manager of Stevens Creek Subaru. The fall season is upon us. That means football, baseball playoffs, and kids back in school. At Stevens Creek Subaru, this is one of our favorite times of the year. Fall is also when we get our first rains of the year. That means dangerous road conditions. That is, unless you drive a Subaru with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Subarus are built for any road condition or terrain, whether it's a drive to the coast or up to the snow. The safest pick is a Subaru.
This month, lease a new 2025 Crosstrek 2.5i Premium for just $238 per month. Just $238 a month for a new Crosstrek from Stevens Creek Subaru in San Jose. 36-month lease. No security deposit needed. $29.95 due at signing, plus tax, license, and registration fees. Includes $85 dealer documentation fee and first month payment. Acquisition fee $650. MSRP $30,177. 15 cents per mile over 10,000 miles a year with Tier 1 approved credit. $300 disposition fee. One at this payment. VIN number S8268128. Offer expires end of month. See Stevens Creek Subaru for details.
On Stevens Creek Boulevard or online at StevensCreekSubaru.com. Buckle up and drive safely.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
This is Greg Nemitz from the Autism Society. The Pettinelli Financial Golf Tournament raised over $100,000 for our organization. Thank you, sponsors, players, volunteers, and thank you, Pettinelli Financial.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to AtcoPestControl.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Now back to the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
You know, Cam, our wonderful producer.
He's doing it to me. He's trying to get me going all the time.
He does a lot of stuff for the Warriors. He's our network coordinator. But I swear to God, he has just something that makes Lorenzo Neal tick. Every single time he comes back from break with something hot. And Lowe's, it could be 6 in the morning. Right now it's 8:34 in the morning. I'm having my 7th cup of coffee because I'm trying to get ready for this Niners game.
Bang, bang.
You got more energy than all of us combined. It's because of Cam.
It's Cam did it to me. Cam got this thing cranked up in here. Do it, Cammy.
I mean, that's just what we do here at 95.7 The Game. We get each other. We compliment each other.
No question.
Just like the 49ers right now. Everyone knows how to press that secret button, you know, to fit the key perfectly in the keyhole, to get you where you need to go, to open the door, to unlock what right now has been, I think, maybe the best story of the season outside of perhaps the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, I just said it every week. It's like when you watch this team, you understand how they're winning games, but if you're just looking at this team on paper, you're probably thinking, oh my God, how in the hell are the 49ers 5-2? Every single week.
Absolutely. Everyone's looking around like, yeah, what do they have? Okay, McCaffrey right, McCaffrey left, McCaffrey in the flat, McCaffrey down the middle. What else do they have? And it's like, you look up, you check the box score, 19-10, 20-9. I mean, it's like 17-21. Every time you look up, here's a team that's a very hard press for points. Points are a premium for the San Francisco 49ers. But the way that they're able to get them, and by not turning the ball over and playing great defense, you don't have to score much, and you're winning ball games.
No, you don't. And the Niners are going to be without a couple more people here today. So here's the official inactives for the game against the Houston Texans that, again, kicks off at 10 o'clock. We'll be taking you up until then on 95.7 The Game here on the Kickoff Show. Brock Purdy out, obviously, with the turf toe injury. Ricky Pearsall continues to remain out with a knee injury. Bryce Huff sustained a hamstring strain last week against the Atlanta Falcons. He is out. Jake Brendel is someone who went down during that game with a hamstring. He is out this week. Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive lineman, also out with a hamstring. C.J. West, Jordan James as well. But the Niners low, like, that's the thing that continues to confound me as well, is it's not just, all right, well, you lose Bosa, you lose Fred. It's like they continue to get hit by injuries. I don't know how they're going to get a pass rush today. Bryce Huff has been shut out of a cannon, it feels. He's got 4 sacks this year now. Right. Had another one on Sunday night against the Falcons. He's been really good.
Right.
But, I mean, you're down to your third or your fourth edge rusher. And, again, it's going to be guys out there that a lot of fans are going to say, Sam Okawanu.
Right.
Who is that? But I feel confident that because of the level they've displayed, at some point today, Sam Okawanu is going to be in the backfield.
He will. Is because that guy we're looking at on TV right now, you know, and that's Robert Saleh we have up, and, you know, he's doing a presser from last week. His ability to get guys to play and play well and play at such a high level. And even if these guys are playing and they're playing well and at a high level, even if the results aren't sacks and turnovers and interceptions, the results is consistency. The results are field position. The results is getting teams in 3rd and long. The results are, okay, winning 1st and 2nd down. The results are making teams punt the ball. Results are, hey, look, they're on 4th and 3 or 4, and they can't do a quarterback sneak or the push tug, whatever it's called, the push tush. This is because Robert Saleh has this team playing at a level defensively and schematically that they're winning the early downs. They're winning what they need to do. And even though the results aren't what the fans and what everyone talks about, team hasn't got interception, team isn't getting turnovers. but they're doing the other things, the outliers that are causing and that are yielding victories.
888-957-9570. This is the Kickoff Show with Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. Again, get yourself set for our next game at Laughing Monk, 125, November 9th. It's going to be against the Rams. It's going to be a big game. Make sure you're out there. Come by, say what's up before, of course, you get out to Levi's Stadium. Let's go out to Mitch in New Jersey, who wants to talk about this defense that's been doing it all without Bosa, without Warner. Mitch, good morning, man. How are you? What's going on?
Good. Down in Virginia, a little vacation. Good morning, guys. Thanks to the call out. If we play our defense the way we've been playing the last 3-4 weeks, I think we can beat this game. It's just Stroud is their best player. They're hit with injuries, too. I like our chances today. Mac Jones, he's a pretty good quarterback, but we could also have signed Daniel Jones, too. Could just imagine him the way easy he is having. But this year looks good. Whoever thought that the NFC West would be one of the best divisions in football? It's amazing. 5-2. 3 teams, 5-2. Anyway, thanks for taking my call. Enjoy the game.
Of course, Mitch. Yeah, no doubt. The Joneses have been awesome this week. They've been awesome all year. Yeah. But he did remind me, so we were talking about a last segment. Kittle going out of his way to heap praise upon Mac Jones. Cam, do you have that sound from George Kittle? This was after the game. Again, unprompted. Someone just asked him, hey, why do you think this team is so gritty? And here's what he had to say.
Mac Jones is a fantastic quarterback. The way that he's stepped up for when Brock has not been in and led this team to a bunch of victories is incredible. He gets hit a ton of times, and he stands right back up and delivers the next pass. The way that he is in and out of the huddle. So that is one reason I think for our success is him.
That to me is it's important, too, because we were talking about it during the break. Kittle has not played a game with Mac Jones before Sunday night. He's been sidelined. He's been hurt.
Right.
It's the first time he's played with him, and that's the kind of job that he feels like he's doing.
Yeah, because you don't have to play with someone to understand who they are. You don't have to play with someone to not get the eye test. And that's what he alluded to. He said, hey, he's out there, even though Kittle wasn't practicing and playing, he's watching practice. He's in those meetings. He's going out there watching Mac Jones throw the ball and get guys on the right page and going through the process. And that's why he can give high praise. He's on the sideline when Mac's getting hit. He's falling up and getting back to his feet like he just took a standing 8 count. He's watching Mac Jones run to the sideline. His knee goes out and freaking he's throwing up, dry heaving, eating 12 bananas, and watching this guy go back out on the field and deliver strikes. He can see that. See, he believes in what he sees because he can see it with his eyes. And even though he's not out on the field, that just goes to show you the character and what Kittle, because Kittle's into the game. You know Kittle, he's one of the best. He's a player coach. He's out there. He's always encouraging guys. And he's watching Mac Jones deliver this and saying, Mac Jones inspires us. He inspires this team. And when you have a guy that is inspiring you, you go the extra mile of the way. Think about when you see things happen and you hear all these great stories. Here's this guy, man, delivering food. It's freaking freezing outside, or he's helping the old lady across the street. What does that do? It makes other Americans, make other people say, I got to do some of that. I want some of that. It's no different than a team when you see a guy doing the extra, making guys better, completing the different tasks. It's making everybody say, let's do this. And that's what you saw Kittle. Kittle didn't have a 10 balls last game. He's been out, one of the best tight ends in the league, been 1,000-yard pass catcher. He didn't have 30 catches last week, didn't have 5 catches last week, didn't have, hey, diddle, Kittle down the middle, wasn't targeted like, hey, Diddle's the focal point, Kittle's the focus point. But what did Kittle do? Kittle I called you after the game and I said, please go watch Kittle in the run game. You said, Lo, I'm going to do it. You wouldn't watch the All-22. And what did your eyes tell you when you see the way that Kittle went about his business? Didn't have to be the hero. Didn't have to be, hey, Kittle, man, had this great catches. But when you watch that game, Kittle at the point of attack, motion across, getting his head across, making blocks, being the backside, being the cutoff. You watch the function of the offense. Kittle had his fingerprints were all over that run game last week.
And I think that's why that cut also means a lot, is because he, in many ways, is the symbol last week of the selflessness that it takes for McCaffrey to have 200 yards. He came back and said that about Mac Jones. George Kittle did not have a single reception in that game. That's the only time that I can recall since we've been working together that George Kittle has not caught a pass and then gone to the podium and said, our quarterback's the man. He didn't throw him a ball, and he still was feeling that way. And you're right, it's because of what he contributed on the ground. George Kittle is someone that relishes the opportunity to hit someone in the run game as much as he does to catch 3 touchdowns. And you're right, when I was going back and watching, it felt like every single big McCaffrey run, that last drive, he had a 15-yard push. The guy that you just see 85 all over the field.
Right.
He's getting to the second level, and the offensive line, I think, did a really good job to create a couple creases. But the moment that McCaffrey gets to the line of scrimmage, the guy at the second level is George Kittle. The guy that's hitting that first linebacker or chipping a safety and getting to the next, that's George Kittle. And so I just feel like I don't know if it's completely unlocked. The run game that was dormant, and they're going to be rushing for 150 yards from here on out low. But there's no doubt in my mind that if George Kittle does not play in that Sunday Night Football game, Christian McCaffrey does not have that kind of performance.
No way. And you just alluded to that the play in the end zone where Kittle's making the block. McCaffrey turns around backwards. You think he's down, and there's a scrum, and guys are pulling, pushing, and they walk him, and McCaffrey has the presence of mind to keep his legs turning, and they pull him right in the end zone from 4 yards out. That was one of the magnificent plays. That was that tone. That was that closing. That's how you play football, where guys just didn't quit, not stop, won't be denied. You want to see that, and Kittle breathes that. Kittle has watching this guy come across, getting his head across, saying, okay, I'm going to make this block. You watch this guy block, and you just watch the way that he goes about his profession. They're lucky to have a George Kittle on this team. Just everything he brings to the organization and this team, it breeds winning.
And whenever he's back, it just feels like 49ers football. He's going to catch some passes today. Right. He might get a touchdown today. But it feels more like, all right, 85's on the field. You can do so many more things in both the running and the passing game. It changes everything for them. And with the Niners too, what I think the thing that I'm curious about today, Lo, is how much someone like McCaffrey has left in the tank after a game like that. Because we know that he can do it.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt he can summon it. But doing it week to week, especially with as big of a challenge as the Houston Texans present, I got to believe that DeMeco Ryans, who is one of the better defensive play callers in the league, is saying, all right, anybody else but 23 can beat us today. We saw what he did to Atlanta. Atlanta, by the way, was the number one defense in terms of total yards going into that football game. Right. Anybody but Christian McCaffrey can beat us today. How do you see that? Because I got to be Christian McCaffrey's got to be feeling bruised and battered.
He is. And I wonder what this guy's week was like. I wonder, did he get in the hyperbaric chamber? I wonder, did he get massaged? I wonder how many ice baths that this guy had to take this week. I wonder what is his work week like, because I know what mine was like. And the pounding he's taking, I was doing most of the delivery and being a blocker that I'm like, I'm hitting you. And I know how sore I was. In watching the way McCaffrey, the hits that he takes and what he does and still gets up, I just imagine how his body feels. He can't be 100%. It's Grenell. It's these other guys, Robinson, and the backup 31. I've always butchered his name. How do you say it?
Garendo, yeah.
Garendo. How are they going to play today? Is Kyle Shanahan going to let these guys have some touches? Is he going to say, I want to give McCaffrey all 50 or 30, 40 touches, but why take chances? I want to do that, but am I going to say, no, I better let these other guys, because I want the longevity of McCaffrey, because we're going to need him in December, in January. So it's going to be interesting just the way that they utilize McCaffrey today, because we know what he brings to the table. We've seen what he's done. But it's time for Grindell and all the other guys in Robinson to step up and play at a level where the coach feels comfortable of leaving you in the game.
And it does beg the question of, well, why'd you trade for this guy? You didn't give up much, but you gave up a 6th-round pick for Brian Robinson.
Right.
These are the kinds of games where, okay, if we're going to run the ball as effectively as we want to, let's try and get him in there. You can use Christian McCaffrey if you need as more of a pass catcher today so that he doesn't take the kind of beating that he did against Atlanta. Why didn't you try and get Robinson a little more involved? These are the questions I think we've been wondering about, but on a game like today, I do think it's a little more necessary. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. Giddings and Lowe with you here on the Kickoff Show every single week for the San Francisco 49ers, 2 hours before home games at Laughing Monk Brewing, best pregame party in the Bay Area, and obviously we'll get you to and from Levi's Stadium. More on that in just a bit. But let's go down to Redwood City and talk to, well, I think is the best name in the world, Evan. Evan's in Redwood City. Good morning, Evan. What's going on, man? What do you got?
Oh, boy.
Hey, what's going on? I was just wondering, I'm super excited for this Texans game. I feel like if we definitely win this game, I feel like we have to make a move. Right now, it's kind of after 4-2, you kind of don't want to make a move. You kind of want to see how this team stacks up. But, since if we can get this victory today, I feel like we should definitely be making a move towards either a pass rusher or, we're going to stick with Tatum Bethune because so far he's been showing out, but I'm hoping to see that if we can make a move for a pass rusher or hopefully Jake Brendel's injury doesn't last too long and maybe we get another offensive lineman. But I'm just wondering, what kind of moves do you guys see the 49ers making in the future?
I got you, Evan. Well, it's a great question. It's something we've been talking about this since week 3. Just really after Nick Bosa went down, you look at the pass rushing market, there might be a guy like Trey Hendrickson out there. I think the better that the Bengals play and the more that Joe Flacco is able to win them games, the less likely he's available. But the Los Angeles Chargers have made a trade for a pass rusher. There are guys out there. The Tennessee Titans are going to be sellers. A team like the Giants might have an extra edge rusher you could go after. I do think that he's right, Lo, that each game they win, there is more pressure to help this team. But at the same time, there doesn't appear to be a lot of urgency from Shanahan whenever he's asked these questions, right? Our mentality hasn't changed, next man up mentality, yada, yada. But as the deadline, as it creeps closer, and it's coming up in the first week of November,
right.
I do think there's going to be a lot more of those calls that are screaming for someone to come in and help this team.
Yeah, and the bad thing about it is what's tough is because you and I, we like the Chargers as well. They don't make big men. You just can't pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm trading for an offensive lineman.
I need a new center.
Exactly. So I know Evan just called and he talked about that. And yes, if there were some linemen, guess what, Evan? I just want you to know, teams are not giving up linemen. The Chargers, they're on their 6th and 7th ring tackles. They're getting guys off the street. They're getting guys off the couches because usually football teams don't trade big men, far as especially offensive linemen. Now, you can get a pass rusher on the end of his deal that's got 1 year and the team's, in the tank, so they'll trade him and see what they can get for him. So you can find someone defensively, but it's just hard. It's very, very hard to get offensive players, especially quality offensive players, and not talking about particularly in the trenches, Evan.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think if you have a good offensive lineman, you're not giving them up.
No.
Even if your team is bad, too, those guys do not grow on trees, as we've seen this year with the Niners. It's like every single week, there's a play or two that makes you feel like, if we could get a guy that kind of does some of those things, they're just not out there. No. And the fact that the Niners might be getting a player, and I know a lot of guys, a lot of people, men and women out there aren't going to like this name, but someone like Spencer Burford is going to give you depth at the interior offensive line position. That's kind of the one jolt in the arm you can get back. I just don't think a lot of teams are looking to give him up. I'm with you. I think that the defensive side of the ball is interesting. I've seen names like Logan Wilson, who's a middle linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals, be thrown out there. Jermaine Johnson, who's an edge for the New York Jets. Jalen Phillips is a pass rusher for the Miami Dolphins. I think it's going to be a guy, though, that if they make a move, and I'm not necessarily certain they will, because, again, they've been able to survive all these injuries so far, it's not going to be a big, sexy name. Like the Christian McCaffrey type of deal is not coming down this year.
No, it's not. But there's a guy defensively that I'm hearing some speculations about that maybe they'll be interested in moving him, And that's a guy that I would love to see here, and I wanted him to be here back in the day. Quentin Williams with the Jets. Defensive lineman, inside, interior lineman. I think that that's something that's possible and both probable, that the Niners could be in the hunt for him. He's a big guy. You know, he still has some juice left in the tank. That would really help this defensive front. So I think there's going to be a guy here or there and could be a big splash on the defensive side of the ball for the Niners.
I mean, we know the Niners aren't afraid to do it if they believe it's going to help them get to where they need to go. You know, I think that acquiring big money right now is something that I guess I wonder if that's where they're headed, because not that they're not afraid to pivot, and things happen really fast in the NFL.
Sure.
But this offseason, you did everything you could to clear the books, you know, to get yourself ready to pay the quarterback. And now it's like there's questions about, all right, you know, is Brock Purdy someone that's going to be here in 5 years? Do we want to spend big money in the offseason? You know, you have a lot of cap space currently if you want to go out and make a trade. I think there's a lot of options on the table for the Niners, but I do think that each game they win, and to Evan's point, if they win today, you're 6-2, you do get, I think, not to look too far ahead, but say, all right, if we manage these things correctly, we're going to be a postseason team. You know, the rest of the schedule, there's going to be some tough teams. Giants on the road, I don't think is a gimme game. You get the Rams after that at home, but the Tennessee Titans are on the schedule. You know, you're looking ahead and you're seeing the Panthers. Actually, Panthers aren't bad, but you're getting the Cardinals again. You know, you're getting the Cleveland Browns. There's some teams that, all right, if we can just take care of business in those games, we're going to be in the postseason, and we begin to manage our group to make sure they're fresh. Like, I do think that there's going to be more pressure if they win this game today, Lo, on trying to go out and make a move.
Win one of the two. Get split. You go back weeks. You got the next week. We have the Giants on the road. This week you're in Houston. Find a way to go to 1-1. Let's get this. And if you win today, then you say, let's win two.
Yeah.
That's why today, like Evan was saying, is big, and you know. But just go 1-1 on the road. Win one of these games, 1 or 2 on the road. You come back with the Rams, win that game. You're okay. That's what you need to figure out. That's what this team should be thinking. So, will you make a trade? Will this Niners team do something? They will. I think if you find a way to go 1-1, you know, win one out of these 2 games on the road, I think this organization will be in a situation that's saying, what is it? And then it's going to be, do we get a linebacker, or do we get an edge rusher, or do we try to find someone in to plug, you know, like I talked about a Quentin. There's going to be some opportunities there, and that's where John Lynch and these guys are going to have to go and say, okay, we got to make this happen because we're in the thick of things, because they are. And I wonder now, do you look at it and say, okay, what's going on? And, you know, is this team built for success long term? Don't know. But when the window's open, which it seems to be open, it's been tough, but they're still here. You got to find a way, and you got to continue to push. So, and I think that John Lynch will be very, very active here in a couple weeks.
No, I'm with you. And look, the NFC West is also going to be active. Seattle's 5-2. The Rams are 5-2. And as we move forward here with an hour left until kickoff between now and the Niners taking on the Houston Texans down in Houston, we are going to talk a little bit about the NFL, where the Niners stand, what they need to do. I also think, Lo, and this is from the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line, what's more important to Saleh? A crazy front four, or a crazy secondary? Kyle Shanahan said something this week about identity with this team that I think plays into that, the answer to that question, which I want to give you 510 on the other side. But for right now, we got to hit a break. The Kickoff Show with Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. A couple weeks away from our next game at Laughing Monk Brewing. Get to 957thegame.com right now to secure your spot on the free shuttle to and from the stadium. Get down there. It's a great time, great food, great people. We will be there in 2 weeks. And as for right now, again, an hour left until kickoff. We got you right here on 95.7 The Game. We're back after this.
And we're back live during a Flex Alert. Dialed in on the thermostat. Oh, we're pre-cooling before 4 p.m., folks.
And that's the end of the third. Time to set it back to 78 from 4 to 9 p.m. Clutch move by the home team. What's the game plan from here on out?
Laundry?
Not today.
Dishwasher?
Sidelined.
What a performance by Team California. The power truly is ours.
During a Flex Alert, pre-cool, power down, and let's beat the heat together.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to atcopestcontrol.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
From 20th Century Studios, discover why critics are calling Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, an intelligent journey into the soul of an artist. Jeremy Allen White is the boss. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, now playing only in theaters.
This is it, your last call clearance event at Lazy Boy. Save up to 50% off store-wide on sofas, sectionals, recliners, and more. Don't miss unbeatable savings on an American icon. The last call clearance event happening now at your local Bay Area Lazy Boy.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill to see the full selection of Thermador appliances. Thermador provides a range of possibilities, from refrigeration to dishwashers or cooking with steam or convection. Come into Friedman's Appliance, and right now, you can receive up to 3 complimentary gifts with qualifying purchase. See all Thermador appliances displayed beautifully in live working vignettes at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and at friedmansappliance.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
America's favorite car show makes its final Bay Area pit stop of the 2025 season at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. It's the Good Guys 35th Fuel Curve Autumn Get-Together, November 8th and 9th. For a chance to win tickets courtesy of Good Guys, visit 957thegame.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly.
At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credit is on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Wow, 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 yippee-yo, yippee-yay.
Now back to the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
We got an hour left. Just moving and grooving here towards 10 o'clock.
We doing it. We up in here.
Niners.
Bang, bang.
Texans. 5-2 versus 2-4. We haven't talked a ton about Houston, Lo, and we got an hour left until they get busy down in Lone Star State. The thing about the Texans that kind of confuses me is this is a team that I can't tell if they're ascending or descending because they get their young quarterback, C.J. Stroud, a couple of years ago. He has a sensational rookie season. He's still only 24 years old. Second overall pick, 2023, out of Ohio State. Had part of a dominant offense in college. Rookie year goes 9-6. Wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Was an MVP candidate that season. Last year, regressed, but the team was still good. Won a playoff game. 10-7, numbers not necessarily there. And then this season, Lo, it's like I can't tell if it's because he's got no time. There's a lack of a rushing game. Some of the wide receivers that he did have his rookie season are not there. He hasn't looked as sharp to me. What do you make of Houston in particular, that quarterback? Because I feel like, and maybe other people feel this way too, there's just something missing about him right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing sometimes is inconsistency and also fear and doubt. See what happens. I mean, you went out there and you played golf and all of a sudden, man, you hit that shot and it feels great. Then you go out again and you go and play the next day and you swing the club and the ball just starts to go to the right. You hit it again and it goes right. You change your grip, you hold it, boom, you hit it. Now you hit a fade. Now it's just, and you're spraying all over, and you're like, I don't know what's going on with my golf game. Now when you get up there, you go on the course and you get ready to play, and you take the club back, and you're thinking. You're back in the backswing, and you're like, okay, I got to come down. You're adjusting your hands, and you don't know. You're just moving, and you hit the ball, and it's like, shank. It's no different than a quarterback. It's no different than football. You've had some success, but you're like, boom, you haven't gotten it going. You throw one good pass, man, he looks great, and you're like, he's back. Then all of a sudden, you throw two incomplete. One gets away from you, the other one's like, man, and now you're thinking. Now you're dropped back you got coverage coming, you got people coming, and you're like, oh, okay, is my arm right? Is my and you're not just reacting. And I think you see that with him. You look at his eyes, you don't see the confidence, you see him just shooken. Because sometimes you start to doubt yourself because you haven't had consistent success. See, when you have success, it's okay, but you need consistent success to make you feel that you're capable. So he's going through that, and you just got to fight through it. So I've seen the same thing. Watching the Houston Texans, the inconsistency. They're inconsistent, and you see that, and now teams start to press. Your quarterback starts to press, and everything around, it's like everyone sees it. Just like they see Mac Jones, Kittle talked about, he said, they didn't ask him. He just said, Mac Jones is a good quarterback. Mac Jones, he's leading this team. Everyone follows that, and everyone sees that. So when you see your quarterback struggle, and you see him not in a place where it's like, we got to go. So then guys start trying to make plays. They're struggling because other guys are struggling. It's like, oh, my God, we got to. Now you got the wrong fits. You're doing other things. Other guys are trying to press, trying to make different catches, not pinching the detail. So it causes sometimes a firestorm around you.
Yeah, and the thing about him, too, it's with CJ, I think it's been similar to the Texans season. It's been one step forward, one step back. For example, the beginning of the year, they have a tight loss to Los Angeles. The Rams are a good team. They have a 1-point defeat in the final seconds of Tampa Bay. Okay, one score loss to Jacksonville. You're 0-3. And then I thought that this was a team that was beginning to turn the corner. Tennessee's not very good, but they hammer them. They beat the Ravens, and they go into their bye week at 2-3. They come out on Monday night which, by the way, they'll face the Niners here today on a shorter week. The Niners will have some rest advantage there. But Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks kind of take it to them. That was a game that they got 7 of their 19 points because of a defensive touchdown. They weren't able to move the ball well, couldn't run it. I think Seattle's a good team. And on the road in Seattle is a tough place to play. But I guess I was just expecting a little bit more coming off of that bye week. And so this is a team that we're going to get into identity in a minute. Their identity is their defense. They're a team that, similar to the 49ers when we talk about, like, if the Niners can get 20 points, you feel like Robert Saleh is going to keep you in the game with the job that defense is doing. It's almost like C.J. Stroud just has to score 16 points for this defense to keep him in ball games, and they haven't been able to do it consistently.
I think they're somewhat of the Cleveland Browns. Great defense, and then offensive, you start to doubt. And when the doubt starts to creep in, you're in a close game. The great defense at the end, you're like, God, this defense is playing great, and all of a sudden they give up one. That's what happens when you don't have consistency on offense. And that's what happens when you have a good defense that could be a great defense, but they don't have no faith in your offense. They'll give one up. They'll make it happen. And you're like, wow, they've been playing great all day. What happened? So this is a team that you need to go out and pound. This is a team that you got to go and say, look, let's jump on them and let's make CJ come from behind. Let's make him do something that he's done it, but he hasn't done it with great consistency this year. And you just got beat up. You traveled to Seattle, had to come back, had to travel, do those things, and you got beat up. If I can test you early, if I just got knocked out 10 minutes ago, now I get another fight 5 minutes later, your probability of getting knocked out is higher because you're not clear. You don't believe. Your timing's off. You haven't had success. That's what you have. You have a Houston team that has been so up and down that just got punched in the mouth. And it's not a team that's been playing great. So it's not a team that's been like, okay, we just had a bad game, we're gonna bounce back. Where you look at certain teams like, okay, next week they go out and they play better. You're talking about a team like Detroit, you're talking about a team like the Rams, you're talking about teams that are in the mix. Seattle lost. They're gonna come back and they're gonna play great because they know they're good teams. You're Houston teams, you've been on the canvas, you've been knocked out, and now you're coming back, 5-6 days later. Sometimes it's hard. So if you let them stay around and let them clear their head and get the fog gone, meaning if you let the Houston Texans jump up on you by 14, guess what? Now I'm going to start jabbing. I believe that I belong in this fight. You got to go out here and knock this team out.
And that's what the Niners are going to try to do. And the Texans are a team that they're still trying to figure out who they are. Their identity, to me, has not been established in 2025. Meanwhile, I think the Niners, they have been establishing an identity. We heard from George Kittle earlier about the reason for that grittiness, that identity. A big reason to do with it is Mac Jones. I think on the defensive side of the ball, to pay off the tease I had before the break, to me, Robert Saleh is looking for a front four. He's looking for someone that can set the line of scrimmage, someone that can make a quarterback uncomfortable, and then he'll use the rest of his chess pieces to change the picture. But here's Kyle Shanahan on establishing an identity in 2025. This was earlier this week during his final press conference.
I think we establish an identity every week. I think and there's lots of different ways to win, but just the way that this team, I didn't totally know this team when we first started. Like a lot of times I remember the week one Saturday night meeting, I usually show some stuff from the year before and things like that and trying to establish how I want it to look. And it was the first time I didn't show anything from years past. I'm like, guys, I don't want to show things from years past. I don't want to base this off anything. I want you guys to show me who we are. And our identity is what we put on tape. And I show that a lot on Mondays. I show it a lot on Wednesdays and Fridays. And I remind them on Saturdays. And I've been very happy with the tape I've been able to show these guys on Saturdays to remind them who they are and to show them what it looks like, and I expect it to look better each week.
Yeah, I think that this is the grittiest group that Shanahan has led as a head coach in his time as the San Francisco 49ers, as their leader. Again, they've had some dominant defensive teams. 2019, that defense was very, very good.
Sure.
With a ton of talent. 2022, you find out Brock Purdy can be a guy for you, and then the next year you make the Super Bowl, but that team was led more by their offense and really the power of Christian McCaffrey and all the different weapons around him. This team, Lo, is the first one where I can really look at him and say this team is full of a bunch of overachievers, and they just do not take no for an answer. So he's right that the identity is changing week to week, but they have established something of grit for this group more than I think the past teams.
Yeah, what I took away from, Shanny's presser and what he's saying, he's like, it wouldn't behoove me to show this team what we did last year and the plays we made and the identity that we had. Because it's a totally different team. It's a different defensive coordinator. It's a different DC. It's different guys that are on this team now. So he said, I show them on Wednesday and Mondays and Saturdays. I'm pulling up plays to say, hey, I got to play. I imagine Shanny comes in. Hey, look, guys, we're going to install a team. This is what we're doing today. We're installing this. But hey, before we do, I want to show you this play. And he's pulling up and he's showing these young guys, soaking them up and focusing. And here's a guy not quitting, making a play. Wednesday, he's doing the same thing. So he's setting a mindset that saying, these are two, that's why he said, I can't show last year, but I'm going to do what I do now for this year. So Saturday night, you go to the hotel and you have team meetings and you watch film. You show, hey, guys, this is what we're going to do. But he's going in and say, look, let me give you guys a highlight. So now he has these guys watching tape and he's watching guys fly around. Offensive, defensive, plays are being made, circling up guys. So the last thing when you go to bed that night, on Saturday night, you go in with good memories. You go in with guys, what they did. This is who we are. Shanahan's telling them, this is a team we are. That all that last year defense, all those things, that's not us. I'm showing you who we are this year. We're 5-2 because of this team. We're 5-2 because of what we're doing, because the men in this room, the coaches in this room. So that's what I'm showing you. So Saturday night, when he shows that highlight tape and he's got the dirty dozen, the first 25 or the dirty dozen plays they're going to come out with, he's showing them that we've had success doing it. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about showing these guys things that they're doing, not things that other guys did, because not things that other guys did that played for the Niners.
Yeah, and I think that, look, a lot of it is because they have at least established some sort of consistency at the quarterback position. And Mac Jones is giving them a baseline of what to expect at that spot, and everybody else is falling into line. One thing that caught my eye this week, Lo, was just what's happening with Brock Purdy. This is going to be the fourth consecutive game since he re-aggravated it that Mac Jones is starting. Obviously, got you the win last week, took the L against Tampa Bay, who was a pretty good team in a tough road game, but he had the signature victory at L.A. on Thursday night. There's a lot of confidence behind this guy. But what's happening with Brock Purdy now? This is from Diana Rossini of The Athletic, just kind of describing this is the game that they had circled, and there might have been a setback, which will lead us into the next part of our conversation.
The San Francisco 49ers had Week 8 circled as this is going to be it. Like, this is when these two are going to be able to come back. So to go with where Brock Purdy's at, where he actually even shared with the broadcast that it's like very day to day, and it's true. We'll see what happens if he practices on Wednesday. But as of late last night, from a couple of conversations I was having, it's still really up in the air. He went through a workout yesterday on the field, and I was told that he didn't really feel that great. So we'll see how this progresses over the next few days. And he shared too how frustrated he is. He doesn't want to sit and watch this happen, especially after just getting paid. And it sounds like it's one of those nagging pains too, where it's just like you're trying, you feel like you can go a little bit more, and then when you push it, that's when the pain comes back. We'll see how they figure that out. And the same with Ricky Pearsall. Again, had it circled for Week 8. It's just not definite as of right now on Monday.
And what it feels like we're learning each week about Brock Purdy's injury is that they have no control over this thing. Like, no. Ricky Pearsall, it's a knee, and he's going to be eventually back in, but it just feels like the timeline is always changing with Brock Purdy. And meanwhile, they're winning games. But every time we hear something about the toe, the quarterback, it's 1 week, next week, we're going to get him healthy. Lo, I have no clue when that's going to be.
I tell you what, people are like, oh, man, it's just the toe. Your big toe handles a lot of pressure. The balance, and I've had those turf toes, And when you have that joint, inside that joint, and you dorsiflex your toe, and you push off of it, someone falls on the back, it can just set you back that much more because ligament is stretched out of the whack. And yeah, you can shoot it up, and guys go out there and play on it, but it weakens the ligament. You're going to be, and then afterwards, your toe is so swollen, because they injected in that joint, and your toe's swollen, and afterwards, it's like the next day, you're just icing it, you're limping around, you're like, you say, oh my God, how'd you run around? And you watch guys play on it, and like, man, that guy looked great. Next day, they're in a boot. Monday, they're in a boot. Their feet swollen. You look at it, it's black and blue, and you're like, how did that guy play? And it takes all week for it to go back down. You massage it. You keep the joints, keep it flexible. You ice it. You get the ice cup, freeze the ice, and you massage it, move the old blood around. That turf toe is tough, and they're like, oh, no. And, yeah, you can go out there and play. Yeah, they can shoot him up. But if this is your quarterback of the future, and he's the long-term solution, which we paid him the money, and he should be, rightfully so, why the hell would you rush him? Why do you get him? I mean, some turf toes can last the whole year. It never heals until, you get off of it completely. So he can suck it up and play, but why take chances? If this is your guy, let it rest. Let all the inflammation and everything go out, and just let the ligaments and let it heal. So I don't think they rush him back. You got, like I said, Mac Jones is playing well for you. And Purdy is a good guy. He can go to the mic and say, yeah, if I had to play, I can play, but it's no need. And he can say, I love having Mac Jones here. And it's the way that this organization, and it's the way that you handle things. Look, we know football is a contact sport, but it's very competitive, and this is what it is. But if he goes there and took the podium and said, look, Mac Jones has given me the liberty that I don't have to play. And Mac Jones, he's earned this, and this guy is playing well. I know that I'm not 100%. It would be selfish of me to come back because I'm the starter. This would be selfish of me, and it's not fair to the rest of these guys that I came in just to say that I'm the starter and I'm ready to come back. That's not who I am. If Purdy did that in a week or 2 weeks, people are going to respect him. You think the team, it took a bigger man to say, look, I'm not ready right now. I'm not at 100%. Yes, I can play, but why should I do that? And when a guy's got this team humming and playing at a high level, why should I interject myself? Because I'm the starter.
I agree. And I think, too, it'd be different if the backup quarterback wasn't playing at the level that he is.
Right.
But he's giving you the best chance to win. And that's unfortunately because of what we saw against Jacksonville, where Brock Purdy, and I believe he shouldn't have been out there after watching that game, he lost that game for you. And I think when you look at that and you see what Mac Jones is doing, you have to also think about every other person on the roster and say, is it fair to them?
Right.
For us to send this guy out there that's not going to give you the best chance to win. Guys' careers and jobs are dictated by results of wins and losses. They just are. Legacies, images, contracts, all of it is determined by whether you win or lose football games. And so I think that Shanahan and the Niners have an understanding that it's not just about, Brock Purdy's pride and his contract and Mac Jones. It's about everybody else, too. And so that's where I think that they really have it's not a bad problem.
No.
It's a good one to have because you're still winning football games. But when the timeline moves, to me, there's this innate feeling of, should we just stick with Mac Jones? Should this be our guy for the rest of the season? And each and every week that he wins more football games, I'm beginning to understand because this season has quickly become one that could end in a postseason berth.
Right.
Could end with them winning the NFC West. And if you're telling me that Mac Jones, a month from now, is still the quarterback of this football team because Brock Purdy's toe it's up in the air. It feels like every single week there's something different reported about the turf toe, the timeline to return, how good he's going to be. If you're telling me in a month that Mac Jones is still the quarterback of this football team, number one, I wouldn't be shocked. And number two, I think you're still on track to make the playoffs,
right,
which is what this is all about.
And it's not and that's what happens sometimes. Your pride in individuals and people, they're like, gosh, they let their pride get in the way. And it's no indictment on Brock Purdy. It's Mac Jones is just giving him the longevity, giving him the fortitude, and giving him the opportunity to be able to stay out longer, to heal and mend better. Don't look at it as, hey, this guy is coming in and taking this guy's job. And it's hard as a starter, especially when you're not a bona fide starter, especially you're not a big-time type of starter and people already had doubt about it. It's tough to say, man, God, I want to get out here and play. But if you believe in yourself, which he should, and they already have made the commitment to, let it be. And that's hard to do sometimes because expectations are high and you hear grumblings. You wonder how people are looking at you. You walk in, they're looking, what's going on? And as humans, you always care about what people say. People say, oh, I don't care. Remember the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's bullcrap because they do hurt. And that's the thing. Sometimes as a pro player, as individuals, when you have the mantle and it's taken from you by injury or whatever, and you think, oh, my God, I made this thing go. You think about what Brock Purdy did several years ago, 2 years ago, came in and he just lit the league up, undrafted guy, Mr. Irrelevant, every talk show, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. But the guy was consistent. He always put God first. It never was about him. Even when the tide was high and he was riding the wave, everyone's talking about Mr. Irrelevant. Look at Brock Purdy. So it puts you in a place, if you're not careful, well, man, this team can't do it without me. Look what he's did. Ran Jimmy G out, ran freaking Trey out. And it's like, man, it's about me. But that's not who he is. But it's hard to me to keep that balance and keep that level head. And now you get injured, and look what Mac Jones does. And now you're outside, but you are the man, and you're watching this guy take your mantle, and he's running with it.
Well, he is. And he's
running with it.
And he's also giving it to Christian McCaffrey, who's been running with it too. We'll see how much he's got left in the tank today. This was Brian Baldinger early on the morning roast this week here on 95.7 The Game, talking about, again, the subject each and every week. I know people think about it more and more. The possibility of Mac just kind of taking the reins for the remainder of this year and Brock Purdy potentially being shut down.
I don't know, because I don't know, just there's so many different various levels of this turf toe injury. I've had it, and I don't know what degree mine was, but the thing that is really frustrating about it, it's ended a lot of guys' careers, to be honest with you. And I could go through the history of some of the guys whose careers ended because of it. But it's really hard to practice with. That's the thing. Like, it's not going to feel great. You can get through a game with it, but the next day, like just walking, like you're going to walk like you're an old man. You're going to walk with a limp. You're going to take the pressure off the toe. You're never going to stop thinking about it. Every step, you're going to feel it. Now, until that goes away, like I don't know that they can put him back out there because you have a great chance in this business because of all the things that can happen on any given play of re-injuring it. You just don't know. That's the last thing you want because then you're going to be done for the season. So the more time you can give it, the better the prognosis is going to be that you're going to be able to get back out there on the field.
Was he listening to Lorenzo Neal?
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, right? That's like word for word verbatim.
Same church, same pew. Literally, man.
And I never heard that. That's the thing. I've never heard that, but he's absolutely right. And that's the next day. I was telling you, guys are in boots. They're not walking. You're like, wow, look at this guy. Ran around all day yesterday, looked amazing. And the next day, they're friggin' on crutches or in a boot. They're putting no pressure on it. They're walking with a limp. It's like, dude, how'd you get through it? Because they have that good OT, the Toradol, and they shoot it up with the painkiller. So they do it, but it's not healthy for you. So, like he's saying, for the longevity of Brock and the longevity of this franchise, you paid the guy. Let him get healthy. Let him get back to where people won't have the doubt. Let him, if you rush this guy back out there and he struggled like he did against Jacksonville, because you and I both know, and probably in the thing about it, so does he. So does Brock. If Mac Jones plays against Jacksonville, they win that game.
Yeah.
And so He's like, I can't risk that anymore. And if you do that, you're talking about a quarterback controversy. You're putting him in a situation that will leave that open because of the fact he's not able to be Brock Purdy as. So now you leave, if he doesn't play like we see him capable of playing and he struggles, now you start that quarterback controversy. Now people start to say, why didn't we didn't stay with Mac? Now people are saying, God, did we overpay him? Now it's because he's not able to do the things that we know that he can do. So I think as a coach in an organization, be careful, because if you rush this guy back and he struggles and Mac's in the wings, now you just open up another can of worms.
I 100% agree with you. And that's why Mac Jones is going to be under center today for the Niners, just about a half hour away from kickoff. We'll take you up until then, and then Mark Rainey and Sterling Bennett got you on overtime after the 49ers and the Texans. This is the Kickoff Show with Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. One more segment left. We're going to go around the league. Haven't had a chance to do this, where we get all the games before 10 o'clock to talk about the breakdown. And obviously we'll finish with our predictions for San Francisco and Houston. If you want to get in on the conversation, now's your time. 888-957-9570. Let us know. We're taking your calls, texts, and much more when we return on the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
Don't watch the game alone on your tiny screen. Ghostwood Kitchen is the ultimate destination for every major sporting event. They have huge screens, energetic atmosphere, and ice-cold craft beer. Their bar is ready to pour your favorite drink, and the menu is packed with delicious game day food perfect for sharing. Bring your team spirit, rally your friends, and catch every single moment with us at Ghostwood Kitchen, where the game is always on. And when the game is not on, we have the arcade to keep you going. Ghostwood Kitchen, 911 Main Street in Redwood City.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Go to trylifemd.com now and see the best options with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more. Brian was approved for insurance coverage and lost 100 pounds.
I love the fact that insurance covered almost everything because pharmaceutical prices are going through the roof. The first time I realized that LifeMD was working for me was when the hunger started going away. I never thought losing weight would be this easy. It's given me more energy. I would recommend LifeMD to anybody.
Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at trylifemd.com. That's TRYLIFEMD.com.
Join History San Jose on Saturday, November 1st for San Jose Roots. This free, family-friendly festival celebrates the vibrant history and culture of the city, from its indigenous Spanish and Mexican beginnings to its present multicultural and innovative spirit. Enjoy hands-on activities from the Spanish and Mexican eras of California, tours of real historic homes, live poetry, local artists, and cultural performances in collaboration with Mosaic America. This community event takes place at San Pedro Square Market. For more information, visit historysanjose.org.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into video only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
From carriage house to glass aluminum doors, R&S Doors has a full line of commercial and residential garage doors and gates to suit anyone's taste and budget. Visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com. Now back to the Kickoff Show on 95.7 The Game.
Yes, sir. Half hour to go till the Niners and the Texans go toe-to-toe down in the Lone Star State. Evan Giddings, Lorenzo O'Neill got you until then. And then, of course, overtime on 95.7 The Game after the game with Grandy and Bennett. All right, Lo, we're gonna step into a more of a broader realm here going around the NFL.
Oh, boy.
We will end with the Niners, but we haven't had an opportunity to do this. Again, this is the second 10 a.m. game they've played this year, all the way back in week 2, when actually Mac Jones got his first start.
Mac Jones, y'all!
Meanwhile, they've had one other, East Coast game, technically not East Coast, Central, but you get the point, and that got flexed to 1 o'clock. So this is the first time in a while that we've had a chance to go around the entire NFL and give our takes on some of these teams and games, and obviously we'll finish with our predictions for the San Francisco 49ers. So, Cam, cue the music, my man. Thank you. Let's start in Atlanta with the team that the Niners beat last week, the Falcons at home. It's Kirk Cousins getting the start for an injured Michael Penix, and they are taking on a Miami Dolphins team that, Lo, each and every week I feel like is going to be the last week for Mike McDaniel, and yet he continues to come back as they're still 1-6.
Absolutely, but the emergence of Kirk Cousins will take the helm for the Atlanta Falcons. Looking to make that comeback. Look for Kirk Cousins to go deep, to go shallow. Look for Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons to run away and beat the Miami Dolphins.
Who was that? Was that your co-sell?
That was my co-sell. You're not feeling that? I got the music going. I thought I was bringing it. Cam, turn the music. Let's go.
I thought it was Low-Sell. That's who I thought it was. Howard Low-Sell. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I think like the Falcons should win this game. I know they got their backup in, but the Dolphins, well, I don't think they're a horrible team. They just have nothing to play for right now. They feel broken. Their quarterback is up there at the podium every week making excuses, and the head coach is stumbling through his post games. They're a team they're going to get broken every single week. Also, the Falcons are not as bad as I think they offered on Sunday night. So I think they're going to get back in the win column. All right, this is a team that I think they got some action if they can just survive the next couple of weeks. And that is the Cincinnati Bengals at home against the New York Jets. Jets are 0-7. God bless Aaron Glenn. That is not a good football team. But Joe Flacco, I mean, this is just, he's like an old Western cowboy, Low. He's John Wayne. He gets shot once, he gets shot again. He gets thrown out to Cleveland. He goes over to Indianapolis. He's back and forth. He's all over the place. And he just wins football games is what he does.
Joey Flacco's pretty amazing. But how about it? Jets, Jets. I'm taking the underdog today. I want to see if these guys really love Aaron Glenn. This is going to be the come out for the Jets. I believe that the Jets will find a way to beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
I like that. So today is the day they get their first win. Today is the day.
Today's the day, baby.
Well,
I went out on a limb. Howard, you like the Howard Cosell? This is Howard Cosell coming to you live from 95.7 The Game on Odyssey.
I'm with you. I got Cincy in this one, though. And then we go out to New England, Gillette Stadium. The New England Patriots taking on the Cleveland Browns. Drake May has been absolutely fantastic. I think since he put the league on notice a few Sundays ago at Buffalo against the Bills, taking down Josh Allen and them, this is a 5-2 Patriots team. They haven't even played well at home, low, but they're a young group. They got a lot of guys that are playing hard under Mike Vrabel, the new head coach, who has gotten the most out of that defense as well. They're a pretty nasty team and not to be trifled with in the AFC East. I do like New England today against the Browns.
And the Eagles, they believe in themselves. You watch the way that Vrabel have this team playing. They're playing great. I love the way that the Patriots are playing. New England is playing. They're getting after it. They're believing in themselves. They're believing in their coaches. Drake May has been lights out. This team found something, and now they're at the top of the league in the AFC East.
Meanwhile, can we take a second to talk about this? If you're Cleveland and you're not really doing much, you're not really going anywhere. I have not been the biggest fan of this quarterback, even going back to college, but can we just see Shedeur Sanders?
That's what's so amazing and so crazy to me that I've never seen it. Here's a guy that says a number 2, but he's not even getting reps with the ones. They're saying that, hey, because you have the guy starting Gabriel, he's getting all the reps because he's not seasoned. If it was a veteran guy, I don't understand Shansky. I don't understand his thought process. It's crazy that you're not giving Shedeur any reps with the ones. This Browns team, you're going to blow this organization up. Unfortunately, they continue to struggle.
Yeah, it's just there's something going on there. I'm not sure what. I don't know if it's nefarious, but it just doesn't feel like let the kid play. If you're going to figure out if he can be something, now's the time. And if not, you're going to draft a quarterback next year anyways.
Great. I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right. Philadelphia is at home against the New York Giants. Remember, it was a few Thursdays ago that New York, Jackson Dart, Cam Scannaboo went into Philadelphia, at home against New Orleans, invited Philadelphia to New York. They beat them at MetLife Stadium. Now they go into Lincoln Financial Field against an Eagles team that will be without A.J. Brown. They said this week, which I thought was interesting, Lo, they're not trading A.J. Brown. I didn't even know he was on the trade block, but they're not trading A.J. Brown. It's going to be Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith and company against a New York Giants team coming off that absolute collapse last week in Denver.
Yeah, and I like this game. There's another guy that people aren't talking about this year, and that's Mr. Saquon Barkley. Look for the emergence of Saquon. The Saquon will be spotted today, and look for him to fly, Eagles fly. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles.
I like Philly, too. I do not believe that they're a team that's going to lose 2 games in the same season to the New York Giants. Also, the Giants, meanwhile, yes, part of it is Russell Wilson. They have not won a game on the road this year. So I like Philadelphia. Also, what is going on with Saquon Barkley? Like, seriously, do you think that it's just the Super Bowl hangover? He got, 1 million touches last year and hasn't had it. Or do you think that they've made a point because the wide receivers have been unhappy this year to just try and move the ball through the air and preserve a little bit of Barkley?
No, I think that he's just struggling a little bit, but I think that this guy's going to get it on track. You saw the way the quarterback spin the ball around the yard last week. I thought Jalen had a spectacular game. He threw the ball intermediate. He threw the ball deep. Jalen Hurts showed that his weight and goal last week. But look for Saquon to really emerge this day.
All right, over to Carolina we go. In Charlotte, it's the Panthers at 4-3, by the way. 3-0 at home, taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. A Bills team at 4-2. The bye week, they had the loss 2 weeks ago, to the Atlanta Falcons at home. They've dropped 2 in a row. I think this is a game where they remind us, all right, not a lot's really going on here. New England's the team that's a half game up in the AFC East. but this division is still for the Buffalo Bills to lose.
This is going to be another interesting game when you think about what the Carolina Panthers have been able to do. They're sitting at 4-3. Can they hold off Josh Allen and the Bills? I think they can. You're talking about traveling to Charlotte. I like the Charlottes in this one. I really do. I know I gave you a little howl.
You like the Panthers, I know.
I just think that when you look at them, you look at Josh Allen and the Bills, something's off. The last couple of weeks, something has just been missing. It's a missing ingredient. You look at Charlotte, the way that they're playing, the Carolina Panthers, they're scoring points, they're moving the ball, they're playing decent defense, their offense has been scoring. Now you're going to have a sold-out Carolina Panthers crowd. They want to show up to the ball games. These fans want to show up and cheer for something. Right now, this is the first time in some years that this team is in the thick of it. Don't look now, but they're in playoff contention. They are hunting. So you think this Charlotte team's going to just lay down for the Buffalo Bills? When you sit here and say that Buffalo Bills is going to show you that they're dominant and this is going to say, hey, guys, we're still here, man, Charlotte's going to come out in groves. The fans are going to be there. It's going to be a packed house. Be careful what you ask for.
If Carolina wins this game, that means that they got action in the AFC South. And if the Buffalo Bills do not win this game, I think you're right. There's going to be a lot of people looking at first losing streak in quite some time for Buffalo. There might be something underneath the surface. All right, let's go to Baltimore, where Tyler Huntley is going to be making the start. Not Cooper Rush, Tyler Huntley for a 1-5 Ravens group whose season is spiraling out of control without Lamar Jackson. And the Chicago Bears are going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. This is a Bears team that, under new head coach Ben Johnson, they have found a way to run the football.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams in his sophomore season is taking better care of the football. The defensive line is doing enough to do the dirty work and get the job done. Baltimore low is favored in this game by 2.5. I still like Chicago.
As Michael Jackson would say, this is it. Remember when you get on tour and this was it? That's Michael Jackson. This is it for the Baltimore Ravens. They're up against their backs are up against the wall. They're sitting there at 1-5. This is it, E. They have to find a way. I'm telling you what, people don't make their best music till they're up to their neck in hot water. And the Baltimore Ravens, they're up to their neck in hot water. We get to see what the Ravens are going to have in store. I like the Ravens. You know why I like them too, E? There's a little inside that I know. The guys, not hardball, but the players went in, took the Xbox. They took all the toys, the games out of the locker room. They said, this is it, guys. Let's make our final fight. Let's put our stake in the ground and say, we will not go down without a fight. We will not go down into the silent night. We're coming out. We're the Ravens. The Ravens. That's what I like today.
That is a great point. I totally forgot about that.
It, baby. I'm on fire right now.
It was initially.
Is it the shoes?
It was initially reported that Harbaugh was the one that took the games out of the room, and then they come back and say, oh, by the way,
it was a leadership group.
It was the players. Ooh. No more pinball. No more video games. No more chessboards. None of that. Just football.
Oh, yeah,
Just
baby.
Football.
I got you fired up, E. I see you over there. You're turning red. You're getting the steam. You're getting fired up, baby. Who do you got now? Do you want to change it? Do you want to change your pick?
No, I'm a man of my word. I'm a roll with the Bears. Give me Caleb Williams.
The Bears.
And we can come back and reconvene in a week. Speaking of red, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 5-2 on the road against the Saints. Spencer Rattler's not been playing bad, but this is a football team that just has not been able to make plays in winning time. We saw week 2 against the 49ers. We saw it last week from the New Orleans Saints. They're a team that is slowly beginning to crumble as their season gets away from them. I like Tampa Bay in this game and Baker Mayfield coming off a loss.
Or when the Saints go marching in. Guess what?
I know
like
you
Baker
like the Saints.
No, I don't. I'm not going with Clifford Radford. I know he's Fresno. I can't go with the Rattler. I'm going to tell you right now, baby, the Saints are going to go down. I want the Saints to go marching in, but they're not going to be. It's too much Baker. I know he's down to his 3rd and 4th receiver. Rookies got to step up and make plays. Can Baker Mayfield go down to New Orleans and do what he needs to do to find a way to win? Yes, I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield.
They're also getting Emeka Ibuka back this week. That rookie wideout, he has been sensational. Should absolutely help them. All right, Indianapolis at home. This is the biggest spread of the weekend.
Oh, boy.
14.5 points. I thought it was Utah, Colorado. That's how big of a spread it was last night.
Oh, boy.
Indianapolis, 6-1. They have shellacked just about every team they have played this year. They are getting your Tennessee Titans. And as God love the Titans, God love Cam Ward, but God can't help you in this game. It's going to be Indianapolis that walks away with a win.
The Indianapolis Colts may be the best team in the National Football League. The Indianapolis Colts may be the best team in the AFC. When you watch the way that the Colts are playing, the running back, the quarterback, this team has been lighting up the scoreboards. They have been going to opponents and absolutely motorboating them. I like the Indianapolis Colts to motorboat them. Tennessee Titans are going down.
Wow. To motor. I mean, this could be.
This could get ugly.
This one could get real ugly. I'm 100% with you. All right, the 125 game that actually has quietly become maybe the game of the week low, not in terms of the spread, but in terms of the matchup. The Denver Broncos, who we believe are a good football team, pulled a rabbit out of a hat last week against the Giants with 33 unanswered in the fourth quarter. First time that a team that has been shut out going into the third has scored 33 points in the fourth quarter in the history of the NFL. They're hosting Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Dak has thrown 3 touchdown passes in his last 3 games. They are 500. They are close to the number 1 offense in football. They give up a lot of points, but Denver at home, this is going to be a football game where I am curious as to how that offense travels against a very good defensive Broncos defense. To me, it's the game of the week.
Oh, boy. To me, it's a game of the week, too. And I love Brian Schottenheimer. I love his family. I love Marty. Marty, rest in peace. Brian Schottenheimer was offensive coordinator, was a receivers coach when I was there, tight ends coach when I was down there with the Chargers. Pulling for him. Love what he's been doing in Dallas. Glad that he's got the opportunity to be the head coach. It's going to be a great game. Dak Prescott's been playing lights out, having an MVP type of a year. But can they handle the Denver Broncos playing in Mile High Stadium where the crowd's going to be pumping? The altitude is going to be amazing. You're going to play against a defense that can get after you. Can Dak Prescott find this offense and keep it going against the Denver Broncos? I hope so. I'm pulling for the I'm pulling for the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I have some selfish reasons there because you know that Charger team, they're over in the AFC too.
Oh, yeah.
And them and Denver, they're tied up head to head. So, you know, Chargers got the tiebreaker. So this is a big game. So I'm pulling for the Cowboys. I don't know if it's going to happen. My gut tells me it's the Denver Broncos. They found a way to win last week. Now they're playing this week against the Cowboys at home. It's going to be hard to beat the Denver Broncos, but my heart's with Cowboys.
I like Dallas in this game, and it's as much about the Cowboys' offense as it is Denver's just been playing with fire the last few weeks. They have the double-digit comeback in Philly. They have the close win over the pond against the New York Jets where they had a chance to go win that football game. New York did. And then last week, they scored 33 in the fourth quarter against the Giants. To me, this is where the buck stops, at least for right now. Denver's got to take an L at some point and get hammered for some of these early games that they've fallen behind, and I like Dallas in this football game. All right, for Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers hosting his former team in the Green Bay Packers. The Packers quietly low. I know that you and I both really like him, but it feels like there hasn't been a whole lot of conversation about him. They're 4-1-1. This is still a damn good football team. Micah Parsons goes into Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I just don't know about Jordan Love, a guy that we love. He can swing the ball around the court, but when it's the game's on the line at times, he'll give you one. At times, he'll just throw it away. Jordan Love seems to be poised, seems to be the quarterback of the future there. Just don't know because offensively, they have struggled at times. They have sputtered at times. You saw them go into Cleveland and find a way to lose that game. The imperfection on offense, the inconsistency on the offense with Jordan Love and all those weapons and the running back, everything that they have. I haven't seen enough by Green Bay with the consistency on offense, but defensively for the friggin' the Steelers, it's been ferocious. I brought it back. The word ferocious. The Steelers, they've been known for its defense, that they get after you, that they beat you up. last week and the last couple of weeks, this defense has been a sieve. And I'm telling you, there's a guy who has tenure that's been there forever. Mike Tomlin, I'm telling you, he might not look invincible after this year if they don't get this thing turned around. Because one thing you know, when the Steelers, even when they struggled, even when they don't have a great offense, they always have defense. And everyone said when that offense ever gets going, their defense is going to carry the load. Don't know if they're just getting a little long in the tooth. Don't know if they don't have the weapons. But that defense of the Steelers, they need to play better.
Yeah, I like Green Bay in this game as well. I just think they have enough. And the Steelers, meanwhile, do not have that side of the football clicking on all cylinders. And then Monday Night Football, Kansas City. They're not dead. They are not dead. They are 4-3, and they are back off the canvas. 11.5-point favorites against Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders, as Jaden Daniels is going to be out for Monday Night Football for Washington. That game's in KC, Low.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I thought they were dead. Throw the dirt on them, put the shovel in the ground, and say, look, they're done. Patty Mahomes, and our boy 87, he's done. They're dead to me. But I'm telling you, Kansas City Chiefs has been lighting it up. They got their receivers. Kelsey's playing great. Mahomes is running the ball, scrambling. They have weapons outside. They're playing better defense. This Kansas City Chiefs team, to me, right now, with the consistency in which they're playing offensively and defensively, they're starting to cook, and they're starting to cook with Crisco. I like the Kansas City Chiefs in a blowout, too.
Yeah, 4-1 after an 0-2 start. They shut out the Raiders 31-0 last Sunday. And that brings us to our final but most important game of the week. Week 8, San Francisco at Houston. Game kicks off in just about 10 minutes. And, of course, we'll have your overtime post-game reaction here on 95.7 The Game with Mark Grandy and Sterling Bennett, so stay tapped in after that. But the Niners and the Texans, Low. 5-2 for San Francisco, 2-4 for Houston. Houston is favored in this game, kind of a sneaky 2.5-point line. Who do you like?
Yeah, I know the Texans are favored. I like the Niners. I know they played Sunday night, a little beat up, but the Texans played Monday, right? So you think about, hey, look, who's got the shorter week? The Texans. The Texans don't know how to win this year. The Niners have found a way to win in spite of they know how to win, and the other team don't know how to win. So for that reason, I'm taking the Niners.
I agree. I think that I've only picked against the Niners one time this year. That was against Tampa Bay. I'm not getting that feeling that they're going to be a team that is going to come out sluggish for a 10 a.m. start. It might happen, but to me, the Niners have been too buttoned up this year to believe that they're going to lay an egg completely on the road.
Mac Jones, y'all!
Meanwhile, Houston is a team that has laid eggs all over their season. And again, Seattle made C.J. Stroud. He made him look like a sophomore quarterback at Ohio State. He didn't make him look like a third-year starter in the NFL. I think the Niners can do enough despite not having Bryce Huff, despite not having Ricky Pearsall, despite not having, obviously, Brock Purdy. I think Mac Jones picks up another victory, moves to 5-1 as a starting quarterback for this team. And the Niners, I told you last week, a win on Sunday Night Football, you can lock it up. They will be a playoff team. They will be a wild card team. I think they get the win this week, Low. I'm starting to feel more like Mac Jones might be able to help them win this division in the NFC West.
Yeah, I think the NFC West is tough. You look at there's two teams all three teams are 5-2. You're absolutely right. But like you alluded to, when you're talking about George Kittle said some very, very profound things. He said, why is this team having success? He said, Mac Jones is a good quarterback, and he has allowed this team to flourish. So I think that you have a guy that knows the situations he's in. You're playing against a Texans team that haven't quite figured it out this year. They've been in some tough nail biters, but they found a way to lose. The Niners have found a way to win. This is going to be a good game. It's going to be a physical game, but I think the quarterback have the advantage with Mac Jones on his tour trying to show the world that he's back, and he's back to stay.
And George Kittle did have an accurate prediction that came to fruition last week. He said they wanted to get Christian McCaffrey NFC Offensive Player of the Week awards. That's what he got, 200-plus yards for McCaffrey. Here's my prediction. On Tight Ends Day, National Tight Ends Day, George Kittle will catch a touchdown. So that'll do it for us here on the Kickoff Show. Lorenzo, Neal, and Evan Giddings. A big thank you, as always, to Cameron Williams producing this bad boy for us. Pasta, a.k.a. Steven Risotto, in the house as well. Keep it locked right here after the game on 95.7 The Game for overtime with Mark Grandy alongside Sterling Bennett. That'll do it for us this week. We got you 2 hours before every single game this season, so come back next week when they go to New York. And then, of course, at Laughing Monk, pull up in person for it in 2 weeks, November 9th, against the L.A. Rams.
Oh, boy!
That'll do it for us here on the Kickoff Show. We'll talk to you next time on 95.7 The Game.
Bay Area, what's up? It's your guy, Bonte Hill, shouting out my friends at Ceremony Ford. If you think you missed your chance to save on an electric ride, think again. Ceremony Ford is dropping a deal you don't want to sleep on. You can lease a 2025 Mustang Mach-E Premium with extended range for just $299 a month. Yeah, you heard that right. An all-electric Mustang for under $300 a month. And if electric's not your vibe, no worries, my friends. Ceremony's got a massive lineup of new and pre-owned Fords ready to roll. F-150s, Broncos, Escapes, you name it. Right now, I'm rolling in the Explorer myself, and man, I love it. And let me tell you, these folks don't play games or haggle. Just good, honest people taking care of Bay Area drivers like you and me. So swing by Ceremony Ford, right off 280 on Ceremony Boulevard, or check out that Mach-E lease for just $299 a month at ceremonyford.com. Ceremony Ford, your Bay Area Ford store.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
He's the best interview in the Bay Area.
He looked like Steph Curry always has, so he still got it. I mean, I think the biggest thing when you're 37 is maintaining the level over the course of 82 games.
And he joins Willard and Dibbs every week during the NBA season.
We have a blueprint that everybody's feeling confident with.
Steve Kerr is presented by Great Clips. In sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Celebrating 40 years with extraordinary rewards. Since our humble beginnings, we've believed in setting the standard for luxury, entertainment, and hospitality. This year, we invite you to be part of a defining moment in our story. Join us as we celebrate 4 decades of excellence and experience the unparalleled luxury that has made us a legend. Indulge in the extraordinary. Be part of our legacy. Cash in at Cache Creek Casino Resort.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Hey, Bay Area, slam dunk and save lives with Stanford Blood Center. Donate blood during October, and you'll be automatically entered to win tickets to the Golden State Warriors game on Christmas Day. Every time you donate, you could help up to 3 people, bringing strength and support to individuals and families when they need it most. This is our way of saying thank you for being a hero in your community. Visit StanfordBloodCenter.org to learn more and schedule your donation today. That's StanfordBloodCenter.org.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
America's favorite car show makes its final Bay Area pit stop of the 2025 season at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. It's the Good Guys 35th Fuel Curve Autumn Get-Together, November 8th and 9th. For a chance to win tickets courtesy of Good Guys, visit 957thegame.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Could I have gotten some odds at the beginning of the season that at this point of the year, the Indianapolis Colts would have the best record in the National Football League? No way, no how. Everyone, well, actually, Monty Bolaños actually predicted this.
I was about to say, you got to give Monty her props. She was the only one I heard.
She was the only one. She was a believer in Daniel Jones, who leads this league at QBR. But, I mean, it's, every single year we say this, VJ, you're going to have 4 or 5 teams that are going to far exceed expectations.
Right.
You're going to have 4 or 5 teams, like your Dolphins, that fall way short of expectations. It happens every single week in the NFL. Look at the Chargers. As bad as they were against the Colts, they blow the doors off the Vikings just a few days later. So this is where we are right now, 2025 in the National Football League.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. And this is, I have a theme. Last week, remember, my theme was defenses, right? Because the beginning of the year, offenses are ahead, defenses got to catch up. But I always feel like between week 7 to 10, we're going to find out who everybody's made of. That's why I don't like early seasons and proclamations and, they're done and they're this. No. By this time, though, we're going to see what's good. Eagles are a team I got my eyes on. Of course, my Dolphins. I'm still interested in what the Niners are. I know we know what the Colts were, and they showed that last Sunday. That was a woodshed, boots-to-ass whooping that they put on the Chargers that I love, and Harbaugh and all of that. You guys know how I feel about Herbert and a bunch of guys on the team that I personally know. That's kind of like my little baby, my little crush squad. But the Colts came out here, which I picked last week on the show. Picked them to cover the game, cover the spread, and they did tremendously. But my theme where we're at right now is leaders. That's my word for today, is leaders. And that means leaders of teams, leaders in different categories. Is that real, or are we going to see that start to kind of separate themselves? Like is it really that Bijan is good for $150, $170 all-purpose a Sunday, unless he gets hurt? Like, he's the leader in that clubhouse right now, right? Like you said, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, he leads the league in passing right now. Like, is this going to continue? Is this who you are? Because at this point, if this continues today, like into next week, okay, guys, we're sold. Stop questioning the Colts. You better mark them in the playoffs. And I'm going to tell you this. You got to play that defense on the road in that loud dome. No, they don't have Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning had defenses at that time because Tony Dungy was the coach at that time. So the Niners are another team. The Falcons are a team. You're right. There are a handful of teams that today you look and go, okay, let's see where you are with the Eagles, right? You guys are writing the Eagles off 2 weeks ago.
How about the Patriots, who right now sit atop the AFC East with a 5-2 record? By the way, they are 4-0 on the road this year, the Patriots.
Tough team.
And they are hosting the Browns right now. By the way, just in case you didn't know, the winless Jets on the road against the Bengals today, and Justin Fields is back at quarterback. That's right, Justin Fields is back at quarterback because Tyrod Taylor was banged up, as only Jets quarterbacks can get banged up, so he will not be there. Fields will be back at quarterback. We're watching your Dolphins, right the way, 1-6, 0-4 on the road against this Falcons team. The Dolphins come in with the worst run defense in the entire National Football League, going up against Bijan Robinson, and right there, a big sack for Tua. And so the Dolphins right out of the box have to punt. And how much longer are we hanging on? You keep telling me Mike McDaniel is not going to get fired. Why not?
Because it's not all his fault, and his owner loves him. It's not all his fault, and his owner loves him. We've seen this before with the Dallas Cowboys. And breaking already. Yeah, y'all were questioning the Eagles. There's Saquon in the end zone that fast with 14:42. With less than 20 seconds into the game. I'll let you ride with the touchdown, Steve, but Saquon, Eagles up with the extra point coming on the Giants already.
All right, so this is interesting for the Giants right now because, people got a little enamored. Yeah, Jackson Dart and, Cambu and everything else. But the Giants, after that unbelievable, we never even got a chance to talk about that Denver game against the Giants last week.
Man.
Had to be one of there's never been a game like that.
And y'all want to fire
Denver
McDaniel. manual.
The Denver comeback, in 5 minutes, they were able to make up all those points. Then they give it up, and then the Giants miss the extra point, giving Bo Nix, who has been wildly inconsistent all year long for the Broncos. But in moments like that, he made a couple big pass plays to get in for the game-winning field goal, so the Broncos survived that game. But this is the game where, by the way, that was one carry, 65-yard touchdown from Saquon Barkley.
He looks fine.
Who has had really no success in terms of big plays all season long. Just changed on that one carry there, 65-yard touchdown run for Saquon Barkley.
Right, and you know, he's fine, guys. Like there were so many questions. This Eagles team, you guys know, they're my pick to repeat. I think they will repeat. I know they're getting back to the Super Bowl because let's get real. The NFC is a mess. The NFC is a puzzle that's missing some pieces. But we already know what the picture looks like. It's the Philadelphia Eagles, and I always feel like these championship teams, it's like the Chiefs. I haven't written the Chiefs off. I didn't have the Chiefs not making the playoffs this year. I just thought somebody else would be able to compete with them, mainly the Chargers in the AFC West. These teams, September and October, it means something to them, but not as much as November and December will. And then eventually January. And sometimes you see teams like the Eagles. I don't want to use the word coast because sometimes players and other analysts could take that as an offense. But, you know, you're on cruise control. You know, let's just get there. Right? Let's just basketball, Golden State Warriors. Let's just get there, right? Like we got Stephen, we got the 4 rings, we got all this stuff. We have it in baseball, you have it in hockey. You have certain teams at this point. It's like, listen, man, all we got to do is get there. College football now, 12-team playoff. Hey, Bama, just get there, right? You know what I'm saying? Just get there. And if you got to deal with Bama when the chips are on the table, they're going to be a different team than what you saw against Florida
look
State
at last year with Ohio State. They limped in after that ugly loss to Michigan.
Right.
But they were in the playoffs. And then they 4 straight games, they win the national championship.
So that's how I feel about the Eagles, and that's how I feel about the Chiefs.
All right, watching the Falcons and the Dolphins, 3-0 for the Falcons. Kirk Cousins is in at quarterback. Now, we know Penix is hurt. Penix is the quarterback of the Falcons. Any interest from the Vikings as far as Kirk Cousins is concerned? Because right now, I mean, look, he was there.
Good,
he's the former Viking. Kirk Cousins had a lot of good years with the Vikings. But after the Carson Wentz debacle the other night, and everyone's like, what's going on with J.J. McCarthy? Why isn't he out on the field? If he's suited up for the game, why is he not?
They had him third emergency.
They had him. He has to get cleared by the doctors even to be a third emergency quarterback. So he's been cleared, and yet he's a third emergency quarterback. What is going on with the quarterback position? Kevin O'Connell is watching a season just absolutely unraveling on him right now. A team that won 14 games. They've already lost more games this year than they did all of last year in the regular season. Why not bring Kirk Cousins back? He's certainly better than Carson Wentz.
No, you don't.
Why not?
Because it makes no sense. That's why. It makes zero sense.
Well, you're still hanging on to the idea that J.J. McCarthy is the future of the Vikings?
Yes, absolutely. Why wouldn't you, though? Why wouldn't you?
He's had one good quarter.
Well, I know.
One good quarter. He looked awful in the other 7 quarters.
So you trade J.J. McCarthy for Kirk Cousins right now?
Not trading him.
All right, then.
You're not going to have to trade anything. You get a 7th-round draft pick. You give up for Kirk Cousins.
No, you're not bringing in Kirk Cousins. Last time I checked, Kirk Cousins is on the field today. So let's stop putting him in a different uniform. He's playing today because Michael Penix couldn't go today. Like this injury thing. Oh, by the way, got a new number for you. Backup quarterbacks, we're up to 11.
Yeah.
We're up to 11 backup quarterbacks that had to start NFL record by week 8. That is crazy as far as these quarterbacks going down. It's seemingly every week that quarterback go down. Also, quick sidebar, Bo, I know you saw this last night. Lamar Jackson out today.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson out, and guess what? The Bears are driving on their first drive. Caleb Williams, 4 of 4, 54 yards. He's got him first and goal at the Ravens' 6-yard line. So the 1-5 Ravens at home against the Bears. Don't bet on the Ravens today.
What I tell you, man, remember, we expect him back. The terminology that Harbaugh used was perfect because I told you guys, he's not playing after that bye. It's a way to kind of prolong this thing. They dropped the 1-6 today. Mark my words. They will systematically shut Lamar Jackson down, which they should do.
Hey, have you seen that red ostrich logo on professional baseball's postseason helmets? That's Strauss, family-owned since 1948 and trusted by pros worldwide. Pants built like tools, durable, comfortable, and engineered to perform. From grit to glory, gear up now at Strauss.com. That's STRAUSS.com. Speaking of the postseason, World Series tied up at 1, heading back to L.A., Yoshinobu Yamamoto, old school, man. Back-to-back postseason complete games has not happened since Curt Schilling with the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2001. First Dodger to do that since Orel Hershiser back in 1988. Dave Roberts is no fool. After watching his bullpen implode in Game 1, Yamamoto, I don't care how many pitches, you are staying till the end. He retired the last 20 in a row, but that's money, man. That's a money pitcher. You're on the road. Toronto has all this momentum after a big Game 1, and he just shut them down.
I don't know how many times I yelled out, "Are you bleeping kidding me?" Watching him pitch. Like I'm making homemade tacos for the family. We chilling, we hanging out, we're watching the game, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, Yamamoto, dude, what are you on? Like, what are you on, bro?
He was throwing some filthy stuff.
And you know what? Once again, I can't be the only person who feels like they get smarter about pitching when you listen to Smoltz commentate a baseball game, and he's calling it like, okay, because this one you want is such and such, and he needs to put this pitch right. And when he does it, it's like, dude,
how about
this
him?
Is beautiful.
How about him striking out the side in the 8th inning?
Come on.
Striking out the side,
showing a little, and he's normally a mild mannered guy, but showing a little, grit, little fist pump. Like last night, man, it's 1-1, baby, game on in the World Series.
All right, once we get to that, in the meantime, of course, we got a big NFL Sunday. 7 games going on right now for the scores, the stats, the analysis. Keep it right here. This is End Zone Radio.
NFL Sundays live here.
Hurts to Barkley, off left tackle. He's across the 45-50, 45-40. He's gonna go! Saquon Barkley finally explodes! 65 yards!
It's your NFL Sunday. We're Fox Sports Radio.
I am dedicated. I am TNT.
Team in Training will change your life with a marathon, half marathon, triathlon, or a cycle event, and you'll change the lives of blood cancer patients. Join TNT, fundraise for blood cancer patients, train with world-class trainers, and be part of the most exciting endurance sports events in the country. Or train on your own schedule with TNT Flex.
Join TNT now. Go to teamintraining.org.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 321-321. That's METER to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to great meat, quality, freshness, and care make all the difference. That's the Heartland difference. At Heartland Steak Co., you're getting premium Midwestern meats, hand-cut, hand-picked, and delivered straight to your door. From juicy USDA prime and choice beef to all-natural pork and tender chicken, Heartland Steak Co. brings that true Midwest flavor right to your table. Perfect for backyard barbecues, weeknight dinners, or sending gifts of great taste
they've got you covered. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. Choose from Grill Master packages, freezer filler bundles, or holiday gift boxes. Everything's flash frozen at peak freshness, so it's ready when you are. And here's the deal. When you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping and $25 off your order with promo code SAVE25. That's heartlandsteakco.com, your one-stop shop for premium Midwest meats delivered straight to your door. Taste the Heartland difference. Visit heartlandsteakco.com and use code SAVE25 today.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
Dubs fans, it's time to score big at Cordelia RV Center. Every new 2025 RV must go before year's end with deals you won't see again. Don't wait. Hit the road in style and save thousands. Located at 680 and I-80 in Fairfield or online at CordeliaRV.com.
Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm David.
And I'm John Margevisi with Jack's Restaurant and Bar.
Dude, what's with that voice?
Bro, it's my radio voice. People say I have a great voice for radio.
Bro, people say you have a great face for radio.
Oh, you have a radio
Guys,
face.
not again. We're here to talk about Jack's. Our mom taught us everything we know. Use the best ingredients. Cook everything homemade. Treat everyone like family.
Don't forget the bar.
With amazing cocktails.
Of course. Full bar. Amazing cocktails. Let's stay focused.
You're right. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, too.
That's better. Besides, you're twins. You have the same face for radio.
Why, you little
I love Jax.com.
20th Century Studios presents Springsteen. Witness a true story of risking it all.
These new songs, they're the only thing making sense to me right now.
To fight for what you believe in.
This is not gonna be good for Bruce. I don't need to be perfect. I just want it to feel right.
Springsteen, rated PG-13. Parental guidance suggested for children under 13. Now playing only in theaters.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Fast right now. Why does our lineup work?
I think the contrast of personalities.
Here's a little secret.
I can't even sugarcoat.
We have the best in the business.
They pimp slapped him.
24/7, 365.
There's a ton going on in sports.
Wherever, whenever, quality.
For sure.
Turn the radio up for that sweet sound.
It's how we do sports.
Hey, we're talking about sports.
I get paid to yell and call for people to get fired.
This is Fox Sports Radio, the premier sports lineup in the nation. FS1.
Looking for the one, what you looking at the one?
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Looking for the one, what you looking.
Barkley, off left tackle. He's across the 45-50, 45-40. He's going to go. Saquon Barkley finally explodes. 65 yards.
That's 94 WIP Eagles Radio Network. And yes, by far, his longest run of the year. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles lead the Giants by a score of 7-0. Once again, End Zone Radio here. Hartman and Husky with you. We're in the Fox Sports Radio studios. Hey, be sure to subscribe to Fox Sports Radio's YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube. You see our best videos from all of our shows. And don't stop there. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you like, even whose takes you don't like. Just search Fox Sports Radio on the YouTube and subscribe. All right, quick update here on the scores, VJ. Falcons-Dolphins, no score. The Dolphins, though, have a 1st and goal at the Atlanta 7-yard line. 10-0 Bengals already against the Jets. Joe Flacco, 5 of 8 passing, 54 yards. Could he win comeback player of the year again?
Uncle Flax. I don't know. Is he eligible for comeback player of the year?
Yes, you can do it twice. It actually has happened. Chad Pennington of the Jets won it twice.
I know he won it 1 year with my Dolphins.
Yeah,
they won the division at 10-6.
So you got the Browns leading early against the Patriots 7-3. Wow, Dylan Gabriel looking good, throwing a touchdown pass there to Harold Fanning, the rookie tight end. Panthers trailing the Bills 3-0, but the Panthers are in the red zone right now, and the Bears with that early 3-0 lead against the Ravens. So right now, the Jets. Where are we going with the Jets? What is the future of the Jets? Aaron Glenn. I mean, I don't
leave
even
him
know what
alone.
to say.
Steve, leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
It's silly for anybody to suggest that they fire Aaron Glenn.
Why? There's been a lot of coaches that don't cut it. Is anyone questioning, like, I don't know, Bill Belichick should be fired in North Carolina? Do you think that there's going to be a better future for the Jets moving forward with Aaron Glenn?
For the sake of our listeners, I think we should talk about paint drying rather than talk about the New York Jets.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Like,
I'm with you.
There's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about.
I'm sorry, is 0-17 something to talk about?
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like that's kind of I think we would all today say it's more likely the Jets go winless than win a game.
Right.
But it's just not. It's not even entertaining bad. Like you don't have Orlovsky running out of the back of the end zone to like at least laugh about. Like, there's not going to be a butt fumble.
By the way,
bad.
You know, I mentioned
it's the failure to control anything there too. Like we're just going to watch for 2 months now as he just repeatedly beefs with like random people from the New York Post and like can't figure out who his quarterback is. Like it's just
He doesn't have a quarterback.
But it's more than just like dysfunctional. It's just it's the worst thing you can be, which is publicly embarrassing on top of it.
Well, I agree with you. That's why I'm saying, it's not a personality thing. Are you up to the job, especially when you're under the hot lights of the city of New York? And I just don't think Aaron Glenn is up to it. It's a daunting task. It doesn't help that you have some of the worst ownership in the NFL.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Steve. I think Aaron Glenn is very much a one and done.
When Aaron Glenn was,
he might not even make the season.
When Aaron Glenn was kind of like, pitched as a coach coming out of that Detroit thing, it's like it's the same sell policy as Dan Campbell. Like this is a leadership type of coach. He's going to be the CEO. He's going to run things. He has got the defensive background, but it was about how he could be a leader. And like, I haven't seen a single ounce of leadership for coming anywhere in New York. I mean, Dan Campbell went under a ton of problems in Detroit to start too. He was winless for a really long time in Detroit too. But like it never felt like this. It never felt this bad.
No, it did. It did. People are just hyperbolic with coaches nowadays, and I get it because it's infectious, right? We start seeing coaches getting fired quickly. We saw a college coach get fired last week that actually won. Like, and honestly, when do you see that? Let's get real. When do you see a coach?
But you know why the firing came then? Because they still had to find somebody to pick up the tab for the $20 million.
The fact is still they fired him after a win. I don't know. There's variables, fine. But what's the fact? The fact is the man had just won a game against a team that actually should have knocked off Texas yesterday. So you have these things that happen, and I'm just, it's hyperbolic. If they want to fire him, fine. But now, once again, you're setting your old franchise back another 4 to 5 years because we all know in the NFL, when you fire your coach, you're setting your franchise back because now you need another quarterback possibly. You probably need another general manager. If that doesn't work out, you have to turn around and fire him. Look at Tennessee. Fired Vrabel, right? Fired Vrabel or didn't bring him back or whatever the choice was. He wasn't there again. They've already fired the guy that they brought in to replace him.
Yeah, but look at the Houston Texans. They had 3 straight one-and-dones, and then they found DeMeco Ryans, and they became a playoff team.
And I tell you this, I tell you this,
straight one-and-dones.
At 2-4, they fall to 2-5 today and finish under 500 and don't make the playoffs.
But he turned them around immediately.
But we can also say, well, yeah, but he also had a quarterback to do it with, too.
A quarterback that no one thought was going to be that quarterback.
Well, I mean, he's the number 2 overall pick, so somebody thought it.
The Texans' defense is also very good. Like that's Ryan's side of the ball. The Jets' defense is not, and that's Glenn's side of the ball.
Well, I don't think that they're bad. The Jets' defense isn't bad. I think what you're getting right now is like in any other, just like the Dolphins. You get the 1-5, you get the 0-6 or 0-7. Guys start to check out, Bo. They do. Former players have told me the guys start to check out, man. And then you have the press, and then you have New York, and then you have everything that wraps into it. It takes a special player, a special human being to get up every single day with the millions that they're getting, driving in their luxury car, rolling away from their mansion to show up, bro, and put your body on the line day after day after day after day to lose. It's hard.
So can you envision in year 2 him turning it around? That's ultimately the question.
Well, that is exactly it. Well, where are you going to get a quarterback? It's not a strong draft. We know that for quarterbacks this year. We've seen enough quarterback play at the collegiate level. So, I mean,
I pointed that out. No one's coming to save these bad quarterback teams from the collegiate level for what I say. Not less Carson Beck. I think Carson Beck is going to be a top 10, top 15. He had one bad game, but
he wasn't that good at Georgia.
Oh, he was a winner.
Anyone was a winner at Georgia. It wasn't because Stetson Bennett was a better quarterback at Georgia than Carson Beck. No, I don't see anything on the collegiate. I've been watching all these college games. I keep looking for that quarterback that says, ooh, okay, maybe. I haven't seen any of that this year.
Look, there's gonna be a front office, guys, that they do this every year.
Every year they're going to take quarterbacks that don't belong in the top 10 in the draft.
Well, the thing is, it's not about whether you belong, and I'll keep going back to my favorite, honestly, my favorite in-season quote and interview I heard of Tom Brady. If you can develop a quarterback, it don't really matter who you bring in.
Well, how many teams know how to develop a quarterback?
We're going to find that out if he gets one, because he doesn't have one now. You guys have all been out on Justin Fields, so let's not act like he's got a quarterback. He's going with Tyrod. Don't call me Tyrod Taylor or whatever, however my Hall of Famer to the left says it. But this is what he's got to go with. He doesn't have a quarterback, guys. If you don't have a quarterback in the NFL,
he looked like a quarterback in the first game. How did he get worse?
Everything. No, we already know what that was.
You could have used that first game against the Steelers as a launching point for Justin Fields.
We already talked about that. We already know what that game was for both those guys. We ain't seen that Aaron Rodgers either, so make sure we throw him under the bus.
You had Fields in his debut with the Jets look good.
Okay, one game.
Look good that day. And so you say, all right, we understand there was a lot of hype about the guys playing against their former teams. Let's build on that. Instead, it was a complete reversal.
Were you sold on him before that day as a starting quarterback, yes or no?
I've been trying to hang on to the Fields situation, but my point about Fields was this. If you look at what has happened there in Chicago over the years, you took a quarterback out of North Carolina that had a winning record as a starting quarterback. You dumped him for Justin Fields, who has lost, 75% of his starts in the NFL.
Mitchell Trubisky wasn't good. He had a winning record because the defense there was really good.
He had a 12-win season.
He wasn't. Do
you look at his stats that year?
It wasn't because of him. No, because I'm not a numbers.
What is it, 27 touchdowns, 11 picks?
Hold up. Tape overrides these numbers that you're throwing at me.
We don't care about that. We only care about winning. Are you winning more games than you lose? By the way, the Giants have just tied it up against the Eagles. Let's check this out. Jackson Dart.
Scatter with a touchdown.
Yeah, so Jackson Dart off to a perfect start, 3 for 3, 36 yards and a score. Bo, are your Eagles back in this game, or are they going to struggle today at home against this Giants team?
I don't know. It's the first quarter, man. Let's check back in the third.
All right. Well, I know this. The Dolphins are off to a 7-0 lead right now, so at least one guy's feeling a little bit better right now, at least in the moment. Let's find out what is trending right now. So, Monty, things are good for you. I mean, the Clippers, after a horrific opening game.
Let's not talk about that.
Had a nice
let's forget it.
Bounce back game. Harden and Kawhi looked really good.
And so did James Harden, and he had a nice stretch of threes. I was at the game. I went to the home opener. It was and Intuit Dome was playing the Dodger game outside on the big screen, and also inside on the Halo.
So that's like a perfect game.
It was a perfect day. And then Chargers beat the Vikings on Thursday. So I'm on the sports high.
They didn't just win.
You know what I'm saying?
They blew the doors
They really
off the
did.
Vikings.
I mean, but Carson Wentz was dead. He had no arm, and then they made him play. So we'll see.
Inglewood was popping that night. It was because you got Intuit right across from SoFi.
Absolutely.
Inglewood was.
It wasn't the same night.
It wasn't. Oh, it wasn't the same. Was it Thursday night? You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it was not the same night.
When was the Clippers home opener? Friday.
Mm-hmm. Same Friday as the Dodger game.
Now this is an LA based question, Buzz. Has Inglewood now completely blown away LA Live?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. There's too many other things going on at LA Live.
Yeah, but between SoFi and Intuit Dome, and by the way, this Intuit Dome is insane.
LA Live has that small theater for more one-on-one shows and smaller events.
Peacock, the Peacock
then,
but it's not the place it used to be, not even close.
But there's also a lot of more restaurants and stuff that there isn't yet.
That are empty.
I mean,
they are. And also, too, where they messed up LA Live was Concrete and Chick Hearn Way. Making that a
you also
walkway
have
thing.
a giant building with graffiti all over it because it never got done.
Right across the street from it. Actually, I think that's actually kind of cool because it's so LA. It's so LA. I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as that was supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen. I see tourists taking pictures of it whenever I'm down there covering the Lakers. But they messed up LA
building
Live
that is
when
empty.
they cemented over, in my opinion, Chick Hearn Way, and now you can, it's a walkway and stuff. I didn't get that. When they did that, I'm like, why would you do that?
It was so all the people could just walk across to get to the game from the restaurants.
We were doing that when it was Chick Hearn Way anyway. They would just put the barricades up.
I'm sure somebody got hurt. But you know what I'm saying? People just don't listen. People just don't listen. I hear, maybe you guys are right. I just don't think it's completely dead the way you guys are making it out to
It's
be.
not dead, but to answer this question, I would put that Inglewood area covering the teams now down in that. I would put that Inglewood area over LA Live right now.
All right. Well, I don't know if the Dolphins are dead. Not yet, because they did score first against the Falcons as Tua Tagovailoa connected with Devon Achane. So Dolphins are up on the Falcons in Atlanta 7-0 late in the first quarter. Joe Flacco with a rushing touchdown, a push-tush, a quarterback sneak, however you want to call it. But this man is doing it all for the Bengals. They're up on the Jets 10-0. Also late in the first quarter, Browns over the Patriots 7-3 late in the first. You guys just talked about the Giants tying the game against the Eagles as, Jackson Dart connected with Cam Scatterbo for a touchdown pass. So it's 7-7 late in the first quarter. Bills over the Panthers 3-0. The Panthers were in the red zone, and then Andy Dalton fumbled. It was recovered by the Bills, so they are driving. They're approaching the red zone now, but Bills are up 3-0 late in the first. Bears have added another field goal over the Ravens. It's 6-0. They're going to start the second quarter in Baltimore, and the Texans up on the 49ers 3-0 late in the first quarter. And sad news out of the NFL in case you missed it, but former Jets 7-time Pro Bowl center Nick Mangold passed away Saturday night due to complications from kidney disease. He was 41 years old. Back to you guys.
All right, Monty, thank you very much. A very busy day indeed here around the National Football League. We get serious at this point of the season. The middle of the year, who is, who isn't.
It's feisty in here today.
All right, coming up later, the big game coming up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A little bounce back they're looking for against the Saints, a divisional game. And joining us right now, she'll be on the sidelines for Fox. Megan Olivi is joining us right now. Megan, thanks so much for joining us right now. Are you buying into the fact that the Buccaneers are still in the conversation as one of the elite teams in the NFC?
I am, and I want to say it's because they're banged up right now that I think people are starting to doubt them. I mean, we saw Mike Evans go out. We're hearing that he should be back before the season's over. But, Bucky Irving is hurt, and they've had so many changes in their O-line. I do think that when they can have this bye week next week, start to heal up a little bit, get people back as the season progresses, they're still a force to be reckoned with. And if we know anything, we know that, Baker Mayfield plays with this chip on his shoulder, wanting to prove people wrong. So I think certainly there is a lot of motivation and inspiration for him as well.
Megan, VJ, Vernon Husky here. Great for you joining us. Great to be talking with you. Love your work. Let's stick with the word you just used, Baker. I mean, this guy, just gets jet sent it off so many times. So many times people think he's not the guy and he's not going to be good or he's not going to be this. And all he does is keep proving people wrong. 2 receivers been out this year. How much of this season, though, is going to ride on how far Baker Mayfield, not the defense, not the weapons, but how far Baker Mayfield can take them, in your opinion?
No, I think a lot of it. And I think he's very cognizant of that fact, and I think it's something he likes. When we spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, because this is our third Bucs game of the year, we said Baker Mayfield's at his best when? And he said when he plays with an edge. And I think that he knows there's a lot of people who are doubting him, that there's a lot of weight on his shoulders, and I think he would not rather be in any other position than where he is right now. I think he takes it very seriously, his responsibility. This week in our conversations in the lead up to this game, he was very, very disappointed in his own personal play against Detroit on Monday night, and it seems like, whenever there's a down, he comes right back. It doesn't just bounce back to where he was, but even higher, and I think that's the point he's going to look to prove today against the Saints.
Megan, the thing about the Saints, look, we knew they were going to be bad. My partner even predicted 0-17. They're not far off of that right now. But when I look at this team, look, you have an elite running back. You have a young receiver, Olave, who obviously has talent. Rattler had a meltdown last week, but before that, he's been pretty clean in terms of the quarterback position. And, then there's the whole dynamic of Kellen Moore. Is this a team that is going through some growing pains right now? Can you see the fact that maybe the Saints do have some pieces in place that they can build on for the future?
Oh, absolutely. And, I think both Cam Jordan and Rashid Shaheed spoke to us this week, telling us something. We've been in different locker rooms where there's been toxicity, especially Cam Jordan. He's been in the league for so long. And he said, this is not one of those. It's an incredibly tight-knit group who very much believes in this new coaching staff and all the different, things from schemes to also just outlook on the season in general that they have. And so I think that they're ready to rally around all these new coaches, particularly Kellen Moore. And I think that they all believe in one another. I do think that some of it's about chemistry, being able to build upon it and kind of figure one another out. But I do think there's a wealth of talent. There's some very young talent, but there's a wealth of talent here. And they see it within themselves. This is not a team who is down and out or who's doubting their abilities to have a better second half of the season as we almost reach this midway point. So, the prediction of the, 0 wins is pretty harsh. I could see why you said that, but I do think that we can expect some brighter moments from them as the season progresses.
And speaking of this division, we got the Falcons right now that are down 7-0 to my beloved 1-6 Dolphins. And then you have the Carolina Panthers with no BY. My guy BY sitting at 4-3 with Andy Dalton in today. Do you expect the Bucs to kind of get this division? I know a lot of people was really loving what Atlanta's doing, but now you got Michael Penix out. We're up to 11 backup quarterbacks, NFL record by week 8 that have started so far this year. Is this the Bucs division to lose? I guess I could ask it that way.
Yes, I believe so. And I think they kind of look at it as that as well, because as the season began, they said, listen, it's not good enough anymore to just win the NFC South. And I think that's interesting because most teams, they're just looking, first goal is to win the division. That's not the Bucs' first goal. That should already be done in their mind, and continue to win playoff games then. But you're right. It is starting to get more interesting than maybe we've seen in previous years, particularly recently. When you've got the Panthers who won 3 in a row, and then the Falcons doing some big things. When they have a good game, it's a great game. And so, of course, we've got the rivalry here with the Saints today, but I do think that the expectation for the Bucs is to easily win this division, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy just because that's what their hopes are.
All right, well, it's coming up later on. Bucs on the road against the Saints. Megan, we appreciate the time. Enjoy the game.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
Get you some Dragos while you're down in New Orleans, man.
Absolutely. Wow. I have so many.
Get you some Dragos. New Orleans, man. If you never had a fire-grilled oyster with garlic, butter, and cheese,
I have.
If you've never had one of those in your life, you have not eaten well.
It's been a while, but I had a lot of trips to New Orleans over the years. A lot.
Best food city in America. Would you agree with that?
How about this? I always say this. So they had the Zurich Golf Classic. It's a team competition now, but when it was an individual, so they had a Pro-Am day. And I was there with Jeremy Roenick.
Okay.
The Hall of Fame hockey player.
Yeah, for the
He and I
Devils.
were doing a couple radio shows together, so they flew both of us down to New Orleans to cover this tournament, and JR's a golfer, so he played in the Pro-Am. So you know how it is in a Pro-Am. They may have like food every 6 holes or something, or the halfway point. They had food at every hole.
Man.
Every hole,
Man.
locals. I can say this. You could be in the biggest dive bar in New Orleans in the middle of the night, order some gumbo, and it's off the charts.
Man.
Off the charts.
Willie's Chicken Shack on Canal. Willie's Chicken Shack on Canal. Dog, it's the best fried chicken I've ever had in my life. Like I tell everybody, I love New York food. I love LA food, and I love Miami and all the Latina Hispanic food down there. New Orleans is the greatest food city in America, and it's not even close.
You can do some damage, though, man.
I'd be Fat Albert if I lived down there. If I lived down there, I'd be ridiculous. A fat man.
Texans had a field goal. They've taken a 6-0 lead over the 49ers. Big game for both of those teams. Texans trying to avoid a 2-5 start, and Bears leading the Ravens 6-0. Although the Ravens right now do have the ball down at the Bears 11-yard line. Eagles and Giants tied at 7. And the Falcons get on the board with a field goal, still trail the Dolphins 7-3.
Steve, just real fast, man, because, I'm going to defend this Aaron Glenn thing. You guys know we'll probably all clash heads on this until it comes to a head where he gets fired or not. That defense is 15th in the league, 9th against the pass, 23rd against the run. I get it. They can improve there. But it's not that side of the ball, man. They don't have a quarterback. And yes, he's got some things to learn as a head coach. I get all of that. But to talk about firing a guy in week 8 of his first year of being a head coach, I know that's where we are now. I just think it's unbelievable to me.
Well, here's what I would have done. When Woody Johnson comes out and says what he said, you are bad-mouthing my quarterback and making it impossible for me. That's what I would have done if I was Aaron Glenn. Now, of course, it probably costs you your job.
Right.
But at the same time, you're not doing me any service.
But if you're an owner,
it would be nice if our quarterback could complete a pass.
If you're an owner, own. And, honestly, shut up. And you can't tell a billionaire to shut up. I get it. But just own, bro. And get football people underneath you and sit in your luxury box every Sunday with your suit on and all your rich friends and have caviar and shrimp cocktail and ceviche and drink champagne and chill. Seriously, it's not that hard. There's other owners that do it.
Yeah, well, again, Woody Johnson has proven himself to be a completely incompetent owner, destroying an already struggling Jets franchise. More coming up here on End Zone Radio.
College football. Every day. The NFL. It's all football. The breakdowns. No turnovers. Only the storylines.
Patrick Mahomes
It's all football.
It's a Warriors game.
Your football coverage lives here on Fox Sports Radio.
An official message from Medicare. An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Last MLB postseason, Strauss made history as the first brand ever with its logo on the batting helmets. Family owned since 1948, Strauss is trusted worldwide for workwear that truly performs. Their cargo work pants, tough, comfortable, and built from materials up to 5 times stronger than traditional cotton. The Smart Pocket design gives me utility I actually use every day, no matter the job. This isn't just workwear, it's gear engineered to perform. From grit to glory, gear up now at Strauss.com. That's Strauss.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
And we are never going to go through this again. You will never be involved in the NBA again if something like this happens. Again, these guys have been indicted federally. So, yes, this is not work here. I got a feeling they're okay and they have the evidence. This is where, David, our game is safe. Like he did with Tim Donaghy. Our game is safe.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We're for you. We're here for you.
I can't let this audience down.
That's why we're giving back.
Which makes Fox Sports Radio
really fun. Keep this in mind.
We're giving you the best sports and entertainment on your platform.
Right, because that's how we operate. And you know what? It's about the consistency.
Every day. That's the truth.
Whether it's through your speakers, podcast, or social, we're giving back on Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
Fannin at Judkins and a play fake, and Gabriel back to throw. Lofting. Fannin has it. He has a touchdown. Harold Fannin untouched in to the end zone. And the Browns get their first score of the day. And on National Tight End Day, Harold Fannin take a bow.
That's Browns Radio Network. Browns with the early 7-3 lead against the Patriots. About 9:45 to go in the second quarter in that game. This is End Zone Radio. We're in the Fox Sports Radio studios. By the way, the Bengals have just increased their lead to 17-3 over the hapless Jets. Joe Flacco, 9 of 13, 129 yards in the score. This is what I asked you earlier, VJ, about the Vikings before the season gets away from them. Get Kirk Cousins, someone that knows your offense, someone that has a relationship with your receivers right now. Look what the Bengals have been able to do. They got somebody that can hold down the fort until Joe Burrow comes back. Joe Flacco's the same guy. That would be the Vikings situation. I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is your long-term, unless, of course, he's just absolutely lights out. But considering his relationship with the players on that team, knowing that offense, why would you not bring him back?
No. Listen, the Vikings are they know they have their quarterback, okay?
I don't think they do know they have that quarterback.
They know, but they're also banged up in a lot of places on that team, okay? And I think coming off of last year, this is just going to be a year. We know, guys, that teams take step back and teams leap forward. There's first to worst every year in pro sports. It happens in every single pro sports league. As we have another touchdown, I believe this is Saquon Barkley again.
Yes.
Another touchdown for the Eagles, 13-7 with the extra point coming up. And I believe this is Saquon. My man, Kayvon Thibodeau. Love that kid, man. Met him when he was 17 years old. Oh, yeah, nice pass. There you go, Jalen Hurts. I just beat somebody with the arm. I love it. Anyway, when you look at some of these teams, man, and we'll stick with the Vikings, being that you brought them up, this just could be their step back year, right? This could be the step back year. They have a lot of injuries up front. You know, Justin Jefferson was heard going off in the locker room. You know, you know that diva mentality is going to start sooner or later with him, even though he's a great receiver. But you can't just start scrambling in week 7 and trying to grab quarterbacks from different teams just because the Bengals did it. And we know the Bengals normally don't do a lot right anyway. So it isn't like we have a lot of hope. And Flacco's just surprising the hell out of us. And he has one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the league, to throw the football to.
Well, the Vikings don't have one of the best receivers in the league?
Yeah, well, I mean, Carson Wentz is trying to throw him the ball as much as he possibly can.
Well, he can't. He was hurt. I mean, come on. I mean, it's one thing to lose on the road to a team like the Chargers. It's another thing to get absolutely embarrassed on national TV like the Vikings did in that game. And I'm still trying to figure it out. If J.J. McCarthy is there as an emergency quarterback, that means he got cleared by doctors.
But he was the third. So then who was the backup? Why didn't the backup play? Why are we trying to put this on J.J. McCarthy? It was noted and told us he's the third emergency.
Are you sure they're 100% sold on J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah,
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either.
If McCarthy comes back and stinks it up, are we going to finally chastise the Vikings for not at least tagging Darnold?
No.
We should.
We'll see how this ends with Darnold, because if Darnold goes 11-6 and gets his ass whooped in the first round of the playoffs, what did it do?
Well,
they would have made the playoffs, and the Vikings will not.
Look, I mean, you have
Darnold has statistically been like top 3 quarterback this year.
I know.
I'm just not hyperbolic, but I can't just make just these drastic things. They take listen, Mac Jones. We'll speak on him. A guy that had to move around a lot. A guy that had to go to a lot of different places. I'm still not a Mac Jones guy, but when you put the tape on this year, the man is performing.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes you got to get it.
But the Vikings had that guy that was performing, and they let him leave for
exactly.
nothing.
I mean, if you're Kevin O'Connell, and think about it, you somehow resurrected the career of Sam Darnold. You put all this effort to create a guy that until that last, blowout loss to the Lions and then the disappointment in the playoffs was in the MVP conversation. And then you're telling me we're not going to keep this guy? I put all this effort in to resurrect Sam Darnold? No. We're going to go with J.J. McCarthy. And you could see the frustration from Kevin O'Connell. It's not that he's given up on J.J. McCarthy. It's just like, oh, man, I got to start all over again in getting a quarterback to understand my offense and how this thing works. I had it working with Sam Darnold a year ago, and it's not working with J.J. McCarthy.
Welcome to pro coaching. Now, I have a question for you guys. I just want to make sure that I get the context. Are we saying 1 year for a quarterback now rewrites his career now? Or is that? I just want to know where we're going with this, because
sometimes it does.
Okay,
most of the time
it doesn't. Make sure we stay consistent with that. Then
1 year. That's not.
Sam Darnold had a good year.
He's
got some weapons. He's got some weapons in Seattle, but he's playing well too.
All right,
Darnold's
we
playing
got
well too.
7 games going on around the National Football League, heading to halftime. Keep it here. This is End Zone Radio.
We are Fox Sports.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up.
Butcher Boy here from my friends at Ceremony Ford, where they're bringing serious heat this month with deals that'll blow your mind. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mustang Mach-E Premium with extended range for just $299 a month. Yes, you heard me. An all-electric Mustang with power, style, and range for under $300 a month. That's not a typo. That's a steal. And if you're not feeling electric just yet, well, then no worries. Ceremony Ford's got hundreds of new and pre-owned Fords in stock and ready to roll home today. From F-150s and Broncos to Escapes and Explorers, they've got every model you could want, and the team makes it easy. No games, no nonsense, just good people who know how to take care of the Bay Area drivers, just like they did for me. You'll find them right off at 280 on Ceremony Boulevard, or check out the full lineup 24/7 at ceremonyford.com. Ceremony Ford, your Bay Area Ford store.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Dreaming of the perfect kitchen? Make it a reality at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill. Explore Bosch appliances in live working vignettes and see the innovation in action. During the Buy More, Save More event, you can get up to $4,000 in rebates on qualifying Bosch kitchen packages. From refrigerators with the Farm Fresh system to keep your food fresher longer, to dishwashers with precision wash technology that wipes out 99.9% of bacteria. Own the kitchen like a Bosch. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or online at friedmansappliance.com today.
In sports, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, we save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Is it just me, or has watching television gotten way more complicated than it used to be? There are a million different services, lots of stuff you want to watch but can never find, and don't get me started on the bills. Well, thankfully there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love, MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it, plus everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They've added access to HBO Max Basic with ads plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. The best part? There are no contracts, no surprise fees, and just one low price. And their DVR is awesome too. I can save everything I love on Philo for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. That's a total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv, so I can lock in the best price around. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one is trying to decide what to binge next.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
We are Fox Sports. And here's what you need to know.
James Cook is literally out there cooking.
Handoff to Cook through a hole and darts into the open, and he is Gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, James Cook, as the cook is in the kitchen for the first time in 3 games.
You just heard it on the Bills radio network. They are now up on the Panthers 12-3 halfway through the second quarter. Cook has 11 carries, 146 yards, and that touchdown, and they're still in the second quarter. Saquon Barkley has 6 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. He also just caught a touchdown, and now the Eagles have taken the lead back from the Giants. They're up 14-7 halfway through the second quarter. Browns over the Patriots 7-6 halfway through the second, just like the Jets and the Bengals, with Cincinnati up 17-10. Dolphins are beating the Falcons 10-3 halfway through the second. I'm Monty Bolaños.
This is Fox Sports End Zone Radio. Every stadium, every touchdown. Every score. Touchdown! All broken down for you.
We got the pads on now.
This is Fox Sports End Zone Radio. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. Here's Steve Hartman and VJ Husky.
Rolling along, Week 8. Big Sunday around the National Football League. This is End Zone Radio. We're in the Fox Sports Radio studios. By the way, James Cook is on pace to break the NFL single-game rushing record. Yes, 146 yards on just 11 carries with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. There has never been an NFL running back to gain 300 yards rushing in a game. The record is 296 by Adrian Peterson.
How many carries does he have right now?
He has 11 carries for 146 yards.
The Bills coaching staff would be dumb if he doesn't end with 30 carries today.
I mean, again, why not?
Just keep giving him the ball. Tell Big Josh Apple turnover Allen, hey buddy, take the arm off today.
Well, I don't think Josh Allen cares about the numbers. Again, he's having a very mediocre game. 5 of 10, just 63 yards. But Cook, 146 yards rushing already with 6 minutes to go in the first half. So we'll keep an eye on that. Tell you a team that's struggling right now.
A bunch of them.
49ers. They are 5-2 coming in this game, a surprising 5-2. Mac Jones has been awful today. I mean, 3 of 7, 9 yards. C.J. Stroud, 15 of 19, 184 yards passing and a touchdown with 7 minutes to go in the first half. So it has been complete domination by the Texans so far in this game.
Defense.
So again, week to week, we're like, 49ers with all the injuries that they've had a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are they for real? I mean, their record seems to defy logic because with the injuries, they shouldn't be a 5-2 team. Today, they look like, at least in the first half, they're getting exposed by a Texans team that desperately needs to win today.
They're not getting exposed. I told you guys last week, defenses take over between weeks 7 to 11, guys. You're talking about the Texans. You know where they're ranked? I do. 4th in the league. This is a great defense. And when you play against them, you're going to have to load up. You're going to have to be efficient. You're going to have to, confuse them systematically. You're going to have to really go at them. They're not giving you nothing. They only give up 274 yards total a game is what they're averaging right now. But we understand. Go ahead, Steve.
Monty, you have something for us right now?
Yeah, not great news. I'm no doctor, but it definitely looked very gruesome. It looks like Cam Scadaboo's season might be over.
What kind of injury? I didn't see the play.
Listen, the foot was not facing the right. Was not facing the right way.
Yeah.
It looked like an ankle injury, but it was just not
like a dislocation completely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And normally dislocated ankles, you're done. Ask Fred Warner.
Right. You know what I mean?
The card already came out.
The card came out.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for the year.
It's a gruesome. Don't look it up if you don't want to see it because it's pretty easy.
That's just terrible. I mean, Scadaboo is such a tremendous story. Coming out of the FCS level, going to Arizona State. He had a phenomenal year last year, All-American, top 5 in the Heisman Trophy voting. Instantly became a fan favorite with the New York Giants because of his style of play. This guy attacks, he's not trying to sidestep anybody. He's trying to roll everybody, overachiever.
Blue collar.
And then to have this kind of an injury is just devastating. Hopefully he can come back from it. I mean, modern medicine is absolutely miraculous these days with guys coming back. But when you have that kind of injury, especially in the ankle, lower leg,
no,
that's tough.
No, when something's turned in a direction that it's not supposed to be turned, first of all, prayers up to Scatterboo, all his teammates, his family members, everybody, man, because this is why I just love sports, especially football. Any given play, guys, just any given play, man. You step one wrong way, you have a lot of large human beings falling and colliding and body parts being just laid on the ground and hung out, and you just see some of these injuries. Fred Warner, friendly fire. It was his own teammate. It was his own teammate, and he's done for the year. So the ankle, any type of dislocation, when something's turned, there could be nerve damage and all. We saw it with Tyreek Hill, right? We saw that what happened with him. Just a normal tackle on the sideline. Leg gets caught up in the turf, though. Knee doesn't go. Everything turns where it's not supposed to. Then when you have heart surgery, emergency surgery like tonight or tomorrow, then you know it's done for the year. But the Giants, him and remember Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Like what, week 2, week 3, just non-contact, ACL goes. Done.
Just when the Giants fans are sort of getting into the season. By the way, you want to hear surprising stats right now. Jets get on the board. A touchdown pass from Justin Fields here.
Okay,
yeah, he threw a touchdown to Tyler Johnson. Justin Fields in this game, 6 for 6, 72 yards in the score. That's a near perfect passer rating
Jay.
for Justin Fields.
There you go,
Still
Jay
trailing
Fields.
the Bengals by a score of 17-10.
They heard y'all talking about it. There you go, Jay Fields.
But, I mean, the owner calling him out says, can we at least complete a pass? Well, he hasn't had an incomplete pass with less than 3 minutes to go in the first half. So the Jets hanging in there, trailing the Bengals by a score of 17-10.
Look, Steve, week to week, you and I, we use this all the time, man.
Yeah.
Week to week, you just don't know.
You don't know.
I'm not saying, guys, Justin Fields is great and this is going to be a turnaround. You guys know me. If we're going to talk like that about him, let's just make sure we do the same thing across the board. Because once again, I'm looking up at a CJ Stroud-led team, and everyone loves, they're 2-4. Like, they're not, and their defense is why they've been able to hang in some of these games and shutting out the Niners right now. But once again, some of these reclamation projects, you're talking about Mac Jones, who looks terrible today, but he has looked good in Shanahan's system with the weapons around him that they have there. So good to see JJ. Good to see my man just having a pretty good first half. I don't know how it's going to turn out for them, but 6 for 6 for a touchdown, 72 yards. I'll take it from my guy.
All right, I've been all over John Harbaugh being overrated as the coach of the Ravens.
You don't like him.
I do not. It's not a personal thing. He seems like a great guy, but as a coach, I think he's vastly overrated. Why would he start Cooper Rush a couple weeks ago?
Because you guys all got enamored about Cooper Rush and his 5 starts
Huntley
for Dak in Dallas, and now they should trade Dak. You see what Cooper Rush did?
Didn't Tyler Huntley get into the Pro Bowl as a 15th alternate the other year?
I know.
Well, today Tyler Huntley's 11-12 for 110 yards, and the Ravens are actually beating the Bears right now, 10-6 with a minute to go in the first half.
Sunday, man. Sunday to Sunday, Hall of Famer. You've been doing this longer than me, man. You know what's up.
I know, I do.
Sunday to Sunday, brother. They get paid too.
Well, I
tell everybody gets paid.
The classic example this week was the Chargers. I mean, they were so bad against the Colts. They couldn't literally stop
a different team.
They could not stop the Colts for the life of them. By the way, here, if you're wondering about the Colts, here's one thing you have to keep in mind: they don't have a secondary. I mean, in the second half, Justin Herbert went crazy
ballistic on him
in that second half, and there are guys open all over the place. So, yes, the Colts do have a big Achilles heel, and that is their secondary is subpar. That's not even mediocre. They are subpar. That offense, though, Daniel Jones, number 1 QBR in the league.
Also,
number 1 QBR.
Another team I want to jump on too, because we keep talking about the Patriots. They're down right now at home to the Browns. They're down right now at home to Dylan Gabriel and the Browns right now. Now, game's not over. I get it, but you don't expect to have a home game against an undermanned team. You're in first place. Everybody's kissing up to you and loving what you're doing there. Yeah, I need to see you show. I need to see the Patriots because you guys.
with you.
I need
You
to
know
see the
what?
Patriots show up better than that. Not saying they're going to lose this game.
What do we
but they
know
should
about
not
the
have
Browns?
6 points on the board against the.
What do we know about the Browns?
They have a good
great
defense.
And Drake May's already been sacked 3 times in the first half.
Ooh.
Yeah, so 3
So they're
sacks
getting- so they're
already.
getting to him.
They're getting to Drake
So they'll
May
get to him
in this
6
game.
times today.
By the way, keep in mind the Patriots are 4-0 on the road. They're 1-2 at home this year. I'm not 100% on the Patriots by any stretch of the imagination.
All right. Okay.
No. I'm with you. I mean, this is a team. If they get 8 or 9 wins, that's a major step up from where they were.
Even
a
if
year
they
ago.
get to 10 to 11, I don't care who they play in the playoffs. I won't pick them. I know, and that's not being a Dolphin and a hater. That's being a football analyst. If the Patriots somehow can get to 10 or 11 wins, because right now they're already at 5, all right? So they're halfway to 10, and you could think they can get to 10. But whoever plays them in the playoffs, I guarantee you is going to be a better football team and is going to beat them. And people will say, well, they got to the playoffs. Yeah, and they lost the wild card game at home.
They have a very solid coach, Mike Vrabel.
No,
he
they do.
understands how to coach,
They do. He does.
And he has gotten
He's
this
a good
team.
football guy.
They're maxing out what they got so far, but they have a lot of deficiencies. It's still a very, to me, limited roster.
Drake May, because we don't want to go.
It's too early to tell.
Okay.
Is he moving forward? The answer is yes.
Yes. All right, I'm with you.
He's making
moving
steps forward.
He looks better.
But they don't have a lot of dynamic playmakers in that offense. So he's got some work to do. Hey, by the way, have you seen that red ostrich logo on professional baseball's postseason helmets? That's Strauss, family owned since 1940 and trusted by pros worldwide. Pants built like tools, durable, comfortable, and engineered to perform. From grit to glory, gear up now at Strauss.com. That's STRAUSS.com. Game 3 matchup tomorrow in the World Series. You got Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers, who pitched well in his last outing, going against 41-year-old future first ballot Hall of Famer
Uncle Max
Scherzer. So when you look at the Blue Jays, this is an absolute must game because Shohei will go in Game 4.
Right.
You don't want to be down 2-1 going into that game.
Right.
And if it gets to 3-1, the Dodgers probably close it out. Do you believe that Max Scherzer, Hall of Famer, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, has got one more game in him? Can he come into Dodgers Stadium and shut down the Dodgers?
During the last commercial break, I went into one of the editing rooms, and Monty and Shade, all them were in there, and I told him, Uncle Max, man, I think he's got one more old man game. I do. He's got one more old man game in him. These old guys, we're watching it with Flacco, people. He's got one more old man game.
Well,
in
he
him.
had it against the Yankees. He pitched well.
Okay, no, that wasn't his last one, though. This is the World Series. This is different. That was earlier in the play. This is the World Series. And if there's any old guy that knows exactly what tomorrow night is and what his job is to do on the bump, it's a guy like Max Scherzer. I think we're going to see a gem tomorrow from both of them.
Wow.
I think this is a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers could get it because the Dodgers, I've been saying this all year with you guys, they just have everything you need when you need it. They're that team. They have everything you need to win when you needed to win. Last night, you needed your pick. You could not go to the bullpen last night. So what does Yamamoto do?
Yeah.
I got your 9,
Well,
Skipper.
they can't go to the bullpen at any point.
Right. I got your 9, Skipper.
Yeah, I mean, what?
I got you, Skipper.
Yeah, there is no bullpen for the Dodgers. They need their starters to go
That's
7, 8, 9.
a couple of home runs.
I was kidding last night with some of the guys at the TV station after Yamamoto got through the 8th. I go, all right, you got a 4-1 lead, 5-1. Bring in Kershaw.
No.
He got over a 4-run lead, right?
No, he gave up 2 home runs.
Why is he on the postseason roster, World Series roster? Where is he going to pitch?
Appreciation.
I guess.
That's the right thing
but
to
understand, with Vesia out because of his personal situation, you needed a left.
Family.
Yeah, you need a left-handed arm.
No, they don't. No,
well,
they don't.
we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But, yeah, Game 3 of the World Series will be tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. All right, 7 games going on around the NFL, closing in on halftime in these games. We got some pretty competitive battles. Which games will turn out to be the games of the day? You'll find out by keeping it right here. This is End Zone Radio.
On game day, we suit up too. I'm in the lead. By getting you ready.
It's Fox Sports Radio's countdown to kickoff.
Every stadium, every score.
Scrambling and then heaves one into the end zone.
Where it's caught! Oh my goodness! And by recapping your day.
We're working through all of it tonight.
We're Fox Sports Radio.
This is the story of the one.
As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
You know the feeling when you're about to cut into a juicy steak and hope it tastes as perfect as it looks? Worry no more. With Chef IQ Sense, it's possible to get it right every time. How? It's a modern, completely wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your food, no matter how you cook it. Chef IQ Sense was designed to withstand extreme heat and can even survive in your deep fryer. From grilling to roasting or baking, Chef IQ Sense guarantees that your chicken, meat, or fish will come out exactly to your preferred outcome. Using Chef IQ Sense is so simple. Insert the wireless probe into your food, choose your desired doneness on the Chef IQ app, and it'll alert you when it's ready. Stay connected and monitor your food from anywhere over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So stop the confusion, eliminate the risk, and serve every meal with confidence. Chef IQ Sense works out of the box and with your favorite appliances. You can find the IQ Sense at chefiq.com and save 15% at checkout with code USA. That's chefiq.com.
Thinking about buying a new car? You might want to pump the brakes. With prices climbing across the board, that new car smell is coming with a bigger price tag than ever. It's no wonder more people are choosing to keep the cars they already own, and Mako is here to help make those cars feel brand new again. Whether your vehicle's rocking a faded finish, carrying around a few dents from daily life, or your bumper's seen better days, we've got you covered. Mako specializes in high-quality, affordable paint jobs and light collision repairs that bring your car back to life. Without the sticker shock, you'll be surprised how far a fresh coat of paint and a little bodywork can go. It's fast, affordable, and makes your car look great without blowing your budget. Don't wait. Book your free estimate online or visit your nearest Mako today. Appointments fill up fast, and your car deserves a fresh start because now, more than ever, it just makes sense to invest in what you already have. Better get Mako.
From 20th Century Studios, discover why critics are calling Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, an intelligent journey into the soul of an artist. Enter at Odyssey.com Big 98.1 for your chance to win $100 and movie passes for a night out to see Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Now playing only in theaters.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at LifeMD.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Go to trylifemd.com now and see the best options with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more. Brian was approved for insurance coverage and lost 100 pounds.
I love the fact that insurance covered almost everything because pharmaceutical prices are going through the roof. The first time I realized that LifeMD was working for me was when the hunger started going away. I never thought losing weight would be this easy. It's given me more energy. I would recommend LifeMD to anybody.
Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at trylifemd.com. That's TRYLIFEMD.com.
Dubs fans, it's time to score big at Cordelia RV Center. Every new 2025 RV must go before year's end with deals you won't see again. Don't wait. Hit the road in style and save thousands. Located at 680 and I-80 in Fairfield or online at CordeliaRV.com.
I joined the military for my kid and his mom. I miss my son a lot. One of the things with the military is tobacco, but I saw a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. Everyone's vaping constantly. After my first hit of a vape, I was hooked like that. Once I got back home from my deployment, I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to quit.
Isaiah started vaping to try to deal with stress and quit because of his son. Learn how he and other Californians are rising above big tobacco at undo.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app? It's the button that looks like a microphone which allows you to talk to us. Press it, record your message, and fire it off.
Rose Bowl game.
It's simple and intuitive.
Broadcast on radio.
On second thought, perhaps some people are confusing it with a smart speaker prompt.
Texas and Arizona.
Pretty sure that's what's happening.
Texas and Arizona football game.
Fox Sports Radio is at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
Hand off to Cook, through a hole, and darts into the open, and he is Gone gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, James Cook, as the cook is in the kitchen for the first time in 3 games. That's WGR 550 Bills Radio Network. James Cook having a day. 12 carries, 153 yards. The Bills just scored again on a Josh Allen run, 19-3. Bills trying to regain control of the AFC East. Remember, they are right now trailing in the standings to the New England Patriots, who are now leading at halftime over the Browns by a score of 9-7. All right, once again, here we are on End Zone Radio. Steve Harbin, VJ Husky with you, Fox Sports Radio studios. Bengals have increased their lead to 24-10 over the Jets. Joe Flacco, 15 of 20, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. The guy